police and had associates in the area. They believe he was shot by someone he knew. A white Toyota Camry parked on nearby Weaver Street has been taken away for forensic examination. Police have spent the day searching bins and drains for the murder weapon. A 16-year-old boy has been arrested and charged over an alleged gang rape in the city a week ago. He's the 7th person arrested. The teenager from Alberton has been charged with 2 counts of rape. Police say investigations are continuing and there may be further arrests. A high school student has been rescued from Adelaide Zoo's giant panda enclosure after entering to retrieve a dropped mobile phone. Keepers quickly saved the visitor from the exhibit. Zoo CEO Elaine Benstead says the male student escaped without serious injuries.
He did report some tingling in his fingers because he did touch the hot wire, but pleased to say it appears nothing more than that. The panda is absolutely fine and slept through all of the excitement.
The bamboo forest was reopened to visitors 30 minutes after the incident. Staff are now undertaking a safety review. Opposition leader Peter Dutton says Labor's energy plan is a witch's brew of a disaster and will hurt investment and jobs in the sector. The federal government is planning to legislate price caps on gas and coal and offer subsidies on electricity bills. The year-long measures are expected to save households and small businesses more than $200. Mr Dutton says it's a short-term fix that will have long-term consequences.
They've introduced this figure now of $230, but they can't explain how they've arrived at that figure, and they're taking gas out of the system, not putting more in, which is going to drive prices up. We're not supporting that sort of witch's brew of disaster.
The number of psychologist appointments people can access with the Medicare rebate will be halved at the end of the year. Until now, people have been able to access up to 20 sessions, but a review has found they aren't being used by those who need them most. Federal Health Minister Mark Butler says the system needs to work better for vulnerable people.
The evaluation found that all of the additional services went to existing patients, and that the number of new patients who are able to get into the system and get access to psychology service actually declined by 7% over the course of that period.
Now turning to 5AA Sport, and Darcy Moore and Taylor Adams are among the top contenders to captain Collingwood next season. Scott Pendlebury has stood down as Magpies skipper after serving in the role for 9 years. The 34-year-old says it's the right time for him to hand over the responsibility.
Well, I'm still here to keep supporting that. I think the group's in a great place for the next guy to come through. So I'd spoke to a few boys that I'm pretty close with about the decision. It sits really comfortable with me.
The A-League is defending its decision to play the men's and women's grand finals in Sydney for the next 3 years. It ends the tradition of the top-seeded team hosting the decider. And in the NFL, Tom Brady's Buccaneers have been thrashed 35-7 by the 49ers. Now checking 5AA traffic.
North Adelaide look out for a crash at Jerningham Street at Finnis Streets. Urbray intersection upgrade works are continuing crossroad at Fullerton Road, speed down to 40 k's. Got a lane out of action at Glen, which is slowing things up at the moment. Paynham Road near Montague Street, and we're busy at the moment. Anzac Highway at Marion Road. Look out for camera 2, Beckman Streets at Plimpton. Is someone breaking the law on public transport? See it, report it via direct QR codes across all services. Search Adelaide Metro for more information. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast. Partly cloudy this afternoon, 20. A possible shower tomorrow, 20. Cloudy on Wednesday, 19. And cloudy for Thursday and a top of 20. Right now it's 18 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
A man gunned down in an Edwardstown street. Are baby terrorists frightening guilty pleas from a southern suburbs boy? Hospitals issue a Christmas warning about lithium batteries. The new app swinging South Aussies into action to help with cardiac arrest. And bank your unspent extras, the revolutionary new health insurance. I'm Will McDonald. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
5 minutes after 4 on a Monday. Welcome along to the Sports Show. It's our last week. We're into the very last week of the year, so lots to get stuck into, especially after a very busy weekend. Rowey and Timmy G, welcome to you boys.
Thank you, Sam. We're the only clowns that's still working.
I was just about to say, you sound a little bit too happy about it for my liking. We're still here.
An interesting weekend Well, of weather and sport, it was 35 on Saturday.
Yeah, I liked it.
Then I think in some regional places, 7 degrees overnight, there was rain and wind. I had a mate down south that said it was hailing.
Yeah.
What's going on? Australia smoked the West Indies by 419 runs. We'll get to that. Sadly, our 36ers got smoked Friday and yesterday. I went on Friday. But the Adelaide Giants, they've won an ABL record 12 games on the trot, as I welcome, as always, Timmy G.
Yeah, thanks, bro. I'm with you. I got involved in the Festival of Sport that was happening down at the port that we interviewed Nick Bice about, and it went off an absolute treat.
I heard it was Yahoo.
I hosted the sausage roll eating competition. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Really?
It was a foot long from Mayfair Bakery, I'm telling you. It was huge, and they had to try and eat it in the record time or whatever.
Oh, no.
And the politician won, Kai Ma. He won in 2 minutes, 16 seconds.
He wolfed down a foot-long
Unbelievable.
sausage roll.
So it's the inaugural sausage roll eating comp, and it'll happen again next year. But
with sauce or without sauce?
Yeah, sauce. And some of them absolutely plastered it with sauce. So I think that was part of trying to get it down with a bit of moisture. Yeah. So some few tactics came into it, no doubt about that.
A sausage roll,
a couple of performance-enhancing beers afterwards. So yeah, it was great.
Okay,
really good weekend,
like
mate.
It went well. We absolutely wiped the West Indies. Won the second test by, as we said, 419 runs. We won the series 2-0. Here's our skipper, Steve Smith.
It was a nice toss to win. I thought our boys batted particularly well that first day. The partnership, obviously, between Uzi and Marnus, and then Marnus and Hetty really set the game up for us. And bowlers did the job like they've done so many times for us in these pink ball games. We're undefeated.
I reckon a district team would have beaten them.
Look, I know we
got
Merv Hughes on later in the show to have a chat about the Test match and the series. What I'm worried about, and I don't know about you, Rowey, but we grew up when the West Indies dominated the comp for 20 years. They were the best team by a mile. A lot of those players were like heroes for us. Viv Richards, Desmond Haynes, Gordon Greenwich.
Big Bird.
So, yeah, Joel Garner played here for South Australia. So we sort of grew up when they were just at the pinnacle. I was actually a bit saddened to see what was out there in these two tests. And their bowling attack is pedestrian at best.
Well, they're all playing T20 around the world. They're guns for hire. It's killed off the Calypso Kings.
Yes.
No longer are they the Calypso Kings. They were absolutely woeful. Good news, but Travis Head was man of the match.
Batting behind four pretty good batters helps. Been very fortunate to be in some very good positions with the bat, so credit goes to the few blokes above me, but I've just been able to go out and be myself and play the game how I see it, which is been from Ron and the coaching staff and Camo, so it's been nice.
Well, it's the saying, make hay while the sun shines.
Well, that's
99
right.
In Perth, well, he did.
Yep. And
made
then
hay.
179, I think, to follow up. Run out, he was a bit disappointed with that. But, I know there was a couple of comments about Labuschagne and Head, they're just beaten up on the West Indies attack. I said,
flat track bullies.
You still have to make those runs.
Of course.
And a lot of the other batsmen didn't. I think Warner got a pair of 20-something. So
Smith got a quack.
So, so you got the opportunity to do what they did. You didn't.
They didn't.
And that takes a lot of concentration and effort. Well done.
Labuschagne was man of the series, a 204 and 104 not out. Then a 165 and a 35. I added that all together, average 169.
Not a bad average. That certainly boosts the old figures, doesn't it?
Now, here's a question.
Yep, I'm ready.
Without advice.
Oh,
and I know how clever you are. What has Wally Grout, Rod Marsh, Ian Healy and Brad Haven in common now with our very own Alex Carey?
The Royal Wicket Keepers.
Yeah, that's good. That'll do.
Wrong. It's got to be something to do with his 6 catches, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a joint record now. 6 catches in an innings. It's an equal record now. Here's Alex Carey and those catches.
Is that an edge? That is unbelievable. What a catch. Alex Carey. Yeah! Another edge, another catch, another wicket for all the Australians.
Oh, this is sensational. Good. As a former wicketkeeper, you just sit back and admire this. This is terrific cricket.
The first one, I think, just to stay probably calm up there when the ball doesn't quite go in and chases out of his crease. So my first thought was to get the ball back onto the stumps, but I was managed to hang on to it, so that was nice.
What's Nisa by about 130, 135 up at the stumps?
Yeah.
One of them wasn't clean. Doesn't matter. He took both.
No, exactly. And that was the one he was talking about there where he was juggling it and then he was thinking, should I stump him? But he took the catch and he was out. But
Good on him.
The second one was as clean as a whistle. That was magnificent.
Can I just add a little? There was a thing I saw on social media during the week in the lead up to this test match, and he's clearly been practicing that very play. He had a custom-made cricket bat made for him, Alex Carey, where it would be Steve Smith or someone batting with it. It's just a long stick with little rubber feathers hanging off the side, so that all Steve Smith has to do is try and play it. Don't hit it in the middle, but just on the edge, and a little flick through, and it teaches Alex how to keep to those right up to the stumps with speed off the ball. So very interesting.
Yeah, I reckon it's a fluke. It either goes in the webbing or it does.
It's a tactic that I'm surprised at. I mean, Ian Smith, you heard, the New Zealand, he used to be a keeper years ago as well, but you heard him admiring the work behind the stumps, and I'm going, it's amazing. It's probably a high risk strategy, but paid off.
That's big names. Wally Grout, Rod Marsh.
Yeah.
Hey, how good was they sang the song at the memorial for Rod Marsh
did.
afterwards?
Underneath the Southern Cross, they went out around the memorial. I thought that was a really nice touch.
Hey, finally we have the 2023 fixture. And Timmy, Port, you're pretty happy.
Yeah, look, I suppose the question that came out that I saw initially was the surprise at the double-up games. Geelong, Collingwood, Richmond, Western Bulldogs. So you go, okay, you could take that as a negative, but I think Port Adelaide considered themselves a top 6 team last year. They didn't get the job done for all the reasons, whatever. But I reckon that's not a bad thing. I think you've got to take it in the positive light and go, well, we've got to play these teams. If we're going to be serious about winning a flag, you've got to beat those teams. And I think, especially up early, we've got some really good games up early. I think take it on and embrace it and just go for it. So those double-up games were probably a surprise. So was 3 at the MCG. I thought that was a miracle. Collingwood round 2, Richmond round 11, Essendon round 16. Some years we didn't have any at the G, or maybe 1. So I'm really wrapped in having 3 there. That's great. 5 of the first 8 are at home for Port. You get better weather in April and early May. I'm going, good weather, good crowds. So I'm actually excited about 5 of the first 8 for people going to the game. I think that's awesome. So the only thing I did think that they may have missed out on is where's the imagination in the draw these days? You had Isaac Rankin, Gold Coast. You'd think that'd be a nice little game to get your teeth into, maybe play it at Metricon. No, that's going to be played at Darwin. The Jason Horne-Francis game, be North Melbourne, you think, maybe in Melbourne. It's in Hobart.
Yeah.
Where's the imagination?
Yeah.
Come on, have a crack.
So commercially, you're pretty happy?
I think commercially it's
3
good.
Friday nights, a Thursday, a couple of Saturdays, and you deserve it.
We talk about eyeballs. Well, I actually thought because we finished 11th, I didn't think we'd actually get that. So they are good games for eyeballs as well. And you know that weekend when Crows play Thursday night at the Gather Round and Port play the Saturday night, couldn't hope for better.
Yeah, well done. Speaking to your CEO today?
We are indeed, just after 5. They're up the Sunshine Coast on the camp, so we'll see how that's going as well as get an insight into what he thinks of the draw.
Well, Crows have 4 of their first 6 games at home, 4 in a row, and everyone's doing handstands over that. Well, most Melbourne clubs get about 6 in a row, some of them all at the MCG.
Well, that's the life of an interstate club.
Well, it is, and we're cheering that. 4 in a row, you beauty. Yeah. I reckon Richmond, up until the final, they beat the Crows in 2017, had 9 games in a row at the MCG. So, anyway, we're doing cartwheels about that one. 5 of the first 7. Absolutely huge. They can get away to a good start. GWS away, that'll worry them. Richmond at home, well, they beat them last year. Port in that showdown, well, they beat them last year in that. Some say a fluke, but they did beat them. FIVEAA at home, they should have won that one. And then Carlton Thursday night, they match up well. God, could they be 4-2? What a start that would be for the Crows.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Double ups are tough. Lions, we know they're going to be around the mark. Porter always tough. Collingwood tough. GWS, they haven't beat them for 2 or 3 years. Suns and then West Coast. I've got this. That's 12 games. 6 teams you play twice. They split that 6 and 6. They split those.
That's what they're going to do.
They could make the 8. And that's the hope I've got for it. At this stage, only 1 Thursday night game, no Fridays. They're hopeful the showdown round 20 will be a lock for Friday night, and it should be, shouldn't it?
Well,
it's got to be either Saturday or Friday.
What they do last time, they gave us a Friday night, but then clashed it with another Friday night game and put ours on Fox, I reckon. Something like that,
ridiculous.
Didn't they?
2 MCG games. Again, the Crows do all the heavy lifting for Sundays. They've only got the first 15 rounds out. 4 a noon Sunday and 2 a twilight Sunday. So Crows fans, if you don't like Sunday or day games, good luck to you. And only 2 night games. One of them's Port and the Showdown, Carlton Thursday. I think commercially, look, they're a bottom 6 team. You're not expecting a hell of a lot for that. But it's great that they've got the big heavy lifting Melbourne teams in Adelaide, and I think that's what Tim Silver's wanted.
Yeah, I think that's a good result, and certainly crowd-wise, in those, like I said, those better months for weather really does help. But look, for Adelaide, I think also that they've got to remember that they've got to get these early wins.
They do.
Don't they?
Yeah, both clubs.
Both clubs, we know that. For Port,
what if you're Norton 5 next year?
You wouldn't want to repeat that. You wouldn't want to repeat that.
No.
That'd just cause carnage.
Both clubs.
Yeah, you did right. Early wins, and I think there's what both draws have given is that opportunity.
Yeah, well done. Have your say about the fixture. We've got a $50 pounds voucher there, 82230000. Go through Richmond and Collingwood's draws, and then they say they reckon they're hard. They just live at the MCG.
Yeah.
The A-League, let's quickly do this before the break, Timmy, because I know you're filthy. The A-League, in their wisdom, have made what I think is a massive mistake. They've locked in their grand final to New South Wales for the next 3 years. Have a listen to Perth Glory's owner, Tony Sage.
We had 57,000 of the grand final against Sydney, the highest on record. The next 2 were Brisbane against us in Brisbane against Central Coast. So I just dread to see if it's going to be a Adelaide versus Brisbane or a Perth versus Wellington grand final, how many people would turn up in Sydney.
I called the 2016 grand final win at Adelaide Oval with Don Bernardo and Darren Burgess back then. There was 50,000 there. It was special. That was special. So imagine if the Reds make the finals this year and they finish top, they get to qualify, it won't be at Adelaide Oval. That is an absolute bloody disgrace, A-League. You're an absolute joke.
Well, this is where this is the CEO, Danny Townsend. Okay, the A-League. Look, this was
Danny boy.
Yeah, this is an important and ambitious step forward in our game. Reaching this point involved a long period of consultation and assessment to make sure it was the right decision for the A-League for football in Australia. Who'd you consult? Who did you actually consult?
Not the fans.
No way they did. What it reeks of for me, Rowey, we saw Dan Andrews and the Victorian State Government take on the sponsorship for the Diamonds.
Yes, we did.
So now they will get all the premium games in Melbourne, right?
Yeah.
This is another thing. New South Wales State Government taking this over, going to have 3 of the next 3 finals, grand finals there. Who knows if it continues on after that?
Because they obviously paid for it.
8-figure fee.
Here we go. Here we go. So it's money talks. This is what we're talking about. SA, on the other hand, South Australia. Gather round. Who goes to that? Everybody. The FIVEAA 500. Who can come to that? Everybody. What about Live Golf? Who wants to go to that? Anybody? It's not restricted to... That's selfish behaviour by the other 2 state governments. There you go.
Yeah, I think it is.
What about that?
Yeah, no, I don't mind.
And I can't believe you've sold it to them like that.
Craig Goodwin's spoken on social media in the last 2 hours. He says in a tweet, I wanted to make clear things publicly. I may be in the video for the A-League choice to host the grand finals in Sydney, but I do not support it. I'm a player, but I'm also a fan. The fans are the most valuable thing in football, and as we've seen from the support through the country for the World Cup and the Socceroos, they are the ones that create the atmosphere and culture, and that's what makes the game great. Like many fans around the country, and like I said, I too am disappointed in this decision.
Have you say about that, A-League fans? Got a Foodland text here. Rowey and Timmy, whose tears tasted sweeter? Harry Kane's miss or Ronaldo's exit in the World Cup? That's from Bert. Bert, I think it's unsportsmanlike or lack of class to rain on someone's parade when they've had a little bit of bad luck or they're out. I did smirk.
Absolutely. Look, the England-France game, you know the rivalry there, and for Harry Kane to miss that penalty really does hurt. I mean, we know where Ronaldo's at. I think as far as he's coming to grips with his mortality, I think, and that it's ended now, and that was a sad exit. But did you see the banter between Argentina and the Netherlands? Did you see that?
That was uncool.
Look, in the end, they were bantering and fighting all day. And the way they finished off, I just didn't think it showed any class.
No.
And that was disappointing, I think, in the end.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, we got some cracking semi-finals on our hands.
We do. And well done to SACA members. It goes without saying, and the SA public, over 10,000 there yesterday for 90 minutes of cricket, 86,730, nearly doubled the Perth crowd. We do it bigger, better than anyone. We bat out of our weight. God, we love our sport here.
Yeah.
We are the capital of Australia for sport. Nick off Melbourne, nick off everyone. We're it in a bit.
We're going to break it all down, that test match with Merv Hughes very shortly on the program. We're also going to speak to the two CEOs of our footy clubs, Matthew Richardson from Port Adelaide and Tim Silvers from the Adelaide Crows. We've got some tickets to give away to the Strikers and the 36ers as well, so plenty to get through between now and 7 o'clock. It's 20 minutes after 4. We'll take your calls on the other side.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. Each week on the 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G go courtside with the Adelaide 36ers. Get the very latest from the inner sanctum thanks to ASIC Couriers. Have something your business needs delivered? Don't risk it. Send it with ASIC Couriers.
Hey Strikers fans, Sid's here and you don't want to miss this. It's our season opener against the Sydney Sixers on Wednesday, December 14 at Adelaide Oval. Not going to lie, I'm pretty excited about this one and you should be too, as we'll be launching the P-City 2.0 shades as our match day giveaway. These are this summer's hottest item. Visit AdelaideStrikers.com.au for tickets, and I can't wait to see the best fans in the league back at Adelaide Oval this summer.
A shock absorber, CV joint, or maybe a bearing kit. It may seem like just a four-wheel drive part, but open it up and you'll find so much more. Each terrain tamer four-wheel drive part is the culmination of 50 years of experience. Every break, every lesson, every setback far from home strengthens everything we do. So when you break down miles from home and you drag out our number, you'll know you're in safe hands. That's the terrain tamer connection, and it comes free with every part.
Now, if you're close to, or you just finish off building your new home, well, congrats on that.
Well played.
Well played. But it's really not complete without a stunning driveway or picture-perfect paths around your new place. So do it right. Get in touch with the incredible team at Adelaide Exposed Concrete. It'll make your house or break it if you use peanuts. Adelaide Exposed Concrete, a double thumbs up. No, it does, Tim.
Spot on. I've actually, unfortunately, when you walk past a new home and you don't see any of this, it doesn't complete it. So
there's some peanuts out there.
The service, the communication, the workmanship, everything they do is absolutely first class, Rowey.
Oh, it is. It absolutely is. So even if your current driveway paths or patio area are a bit ugly, cracked or falling apart, give the super-friendly team at Adelaide Exposed Concrete a little tingle. Just give them a call. Give them a call. We love them here at 5AA. They're just rippers. We went away with them to the grand final. They're here at our Christmas party. Just a terrific
Walked in and donated to your ride.
Oh, no, they did.
Yeah.
Straight in.
That was awesome, wasn't it?
What, $1,000 straight in the tin tank to make a wish. That's the sort of people they are.
They're not going to sing
Shane,
Christmas carols, though, because
No.
Shane doesn't like
Ooh,
doing
no.
Now, whether it's a stunning exposed aggregate driveway, paths around the home, patios, your shed, you name it, get in touch with Adelaide Exposed Concrete, best on ground all year round, AdelaideExposedConcrete.com.au.
If you're a Walco kind of family, you're like us. You love your pool. The first thing you did when you got her was get her a solar blankie, her own Walco solar blanket. Now, it's been a few years. Pool still loves her blankie because it stops her evaporating and you save dollars. But now, well, you need a bit more convenience. So get a Walco roller. It's quicker and easier to tuck pool in. And because it's made right here, it'll be delivered immediately. Walco.com.au.
Hello, I'm Lynn Andrews. At Lynn Andrews Real Estate, we've seen a lot of change in the property market over the last 50 years, but one thing remains constant: our passion to help people invest in the future, to build strong property portfolios in commercial and residential real estate. Our commitment to property investment over the years means we have a wealth of knowledge to share with you. We are here to help. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. Elevate your summer with a $75 travel voucher from SA Weekend Escapes. Get yours before March 31. Visit saweekendescapes.com.au. Scraped your caravan? Don't worry. Call Walker Crash Repairs, your RAA-approved caravan crash repairer.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G.
24 minutes after 4, getting to your calls very, very shortly. And how did you go with tickets for the Gather Round? They went on sale this afternoon, 12
There was
till
some
4 for
drama
members.
over that. I got a lot of phone calls and texts. I'd hate to be in the membership teams of both clubs.
Yeah, so that closed about half an hour ago. So general admission on sale very shortly. First, we'll check your traffic, get to your calls in just a moment.
At North Adelaide, look out for crash, Jerningham Street at Finner Streets. Rowey, intersection upgrade works are continuing crossroad at Fullerton Road, speeds out of 40 in both directions. Got a lane closed at Glynde, Paynham Road near Montague Road, and slow going for works at Myrtle Bank Cross Road near Rowey Avenue. Cameras today, Anzac Highway, Ashford and Beckman Streets at Plimpton. Demix has been sharing stories for over 140 years. Visit your local store and they'll personally recommend the best books and gifts. Demix, where Christmas begins. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Beautiful. We've got the phones lighting up about the Adelaide Test. Warren, g'day, Warren.
G'day, mate. How you going?
Excellent. What do you think?
Good. I was just interested. I was watching sort of for the quick 90 minutes that we had on yesterday.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, looked like the guys just didn't want to be there. It looked like the end of an Adelaide turf game at Park 26.
Yeah.
You know, they were standing out there. Steve Smith, had to call them up for the presentation.
Yeah.
When they were posing for the photo, they were all just standing there. Normally, hypothetically, in the Ashes series, they're cheering and they're laughing. They just did not want to be there. As I said, looked like the end of an Adelaide turf game.
Yeah, look, Warren, I think that, it wasn't an Ashes series, like you said. I think 2 tests against an opposition that we know are battling for talent. I reckon they sort of thought, yeah, we won, but it's not much to
Warren,
jump up and down about, I think.
What did you want them to do? I mean, they've beaten a minnow team who were useless. They'd won it probably day one, where they smoked them. Do you want them jumping up and down and confetti coming out and shooting off champagne and all sorts, do you? Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, a win's a win,
right.
and if you win, you're on international cricket, you're beating an international side.
Yeah, that's
you're
true.
beating the best side that country can produce.
All right.
Regardless whether they're minnows or not, you beat that country.
Yeah,
as long as they do it humbly, Warren, I think it's all right.
I'll play Can You Feel It for you because we beat the West Indies. Just a little squirt, Timmy.
All right, just a squirt. Let's go to
Timmy,
Steve.
Just a little squirt.
Hey, g'day, Steve. What do you think of the AFL fixture?
Okay, yes, hi guys. Talking about home ground advantages, I was remembering, I think it was Richmond's last year they got the premiership.
Yep.
And I think they had to get 7 or 8 home games games at the MCG in a row. And they complain about Adelaide getting 4 or Port Adelaide getting a few. It's a load of rubbish.
Yeah, Steve, I reckon it was 2019, just before COVID, they got those games in a row.
Yeah,
and you're right. It was. I don't think you've got anything to complain about if you're one of those big teams in Victoria.
They get it handed to them on a silver platter, and then they write it up in the blooming paper. Oh, they're about 9 out of 10. That's a hard draw. Nick off. You're at the MCG every week, you numbnuts. I'm with you, Steve. Hello, Paul.
Good afternoon. Just one comment before I get on to what I was talking about. Timmy said about the draw and whatever, and us being an interstate team. Well, that's basically saying it's a VFL competition and not an AFL competition.
Of course it is.
First, secondly, our draw, the 4th hardest, according to an email that came through on the AFL side, there were how many teams were above us in the final series? About 7 or 8 teams above us. And yet we're the 4th hardest draw next year. That's that aside. The reason why I rang was I was on the internet today from 12 o'clock through to about 3:30. Not once was a level 3 or level 5 seat offered in that entire time. It was all level 1. I rang the footy club because it was you can't ring Ticketek, so I rang the footy club to see what was going on.
Yeah.
And she didn't know what was going on. She said, that's the best level anyhow as far as she was concerned. I said, well, that's your opinion, not mine. So what's going on? Why weren't the other levels
being released?
Were they the people that's going to get general admission at 5 o'clock will get a better seat than what we're getting?
So you were saying there was no level 3 or 5 coming up. It was only level 1.
I kept going through every 10 minutes until it ran out, and then I log on again, and just going through, go through, delete, or cancel, whatever.
Yeah.
See if I could get a level 3 or a level 5, and not one came up.
Gee whiz.
I finished up getting, say, 127, row W something or other, and whatever, but which is the gold side of the 50-metre arc, and it's not a good area anyhow.
I think a lot of Crows and Port members are going to be a bit disappointed. We're just going to have to suck it up for this round because the AFL own the ticket for it.
It's just weird you wouldn't release a level 5.
I mean, thought so.
Come on, level 5.
Just before we go to the break, we've got Tim Silvers from the Crows CEO coming up. Have you got a rumour for us about the Socceroos and Graham Arnold?
Look, I did hear a rumour over the weekend. Of course, there's no, what would you say? There's no substance to this. But look, the rumour was that he was spoken to,
Graham
Arnold, and said, if you get us out of the round stage and into the 16, we will renew your contract.
Okay.
So I reckon
and he's done that.
Well, he did that, and I reckon that's why there was a bit of noise about the contract last week.
So I was thinking just straight away sign it up.
Correct, and it hasn't come forthwith. So there could be some more.
So now the FIA is saying you can FA.
Oh, no.
What?
Well, not quite. No.
Well, it's just stand by.
Just go far away. But yes, so I reckon, and fair enough too, I've kept my part of the deal. And if it was a handshake deal, I reckon that's as good as pen and paper for me. Then I reckon you should honour it.
I'm with Arnie then. If that was said and a handshake was done and they looked each other in the eye, the two parties, well, you know what a dumb thing to do.
So I reckon let's just keep our ears out and let it keep playing out.
We certainly will. Michaela's got your 4:30 headlines coming up on the other side of that. Crows fans, your CEO, Tim Silvers, to join you.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, I'm Michaela Kamarek. The Greens believe the federal government's energy legislation needs to be more ambitious to wean households off gas. A high school student has been rescued from Adelaide Zoo's giant panda enclosure after entering to retrieve a dropped mobile phone. A pandemic measure to provide free psychologist appointments will be rolled back at the end of the month, and the A-League is defending its decision to play the men's and women's grand finals in Sydney for the next 3 years. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Roads looking pretty good this afternoon for the drive home. No great hassles. However, we've had a few delays around Rowey for the intersection. Upgrade works at Cross Road and Fullerton Road. Speeds down to 40 at the moment. Got a lane out of action at Stepney, Stephen Terrace near Paynham Road, and we're busy for works at Trinity Gardens, McGill Road near Burnie Avenue. Busy right now, Anzac Highway at Maureen Road with a camera West Street and Ascot Park. Order your shopping online from Woolworths to get $10 off your first direct-to-boot shop. Select locations only, order cut-offs, minimum spends and T&Cs apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 12, a possible shower tomorrow, 19. Currently it's 17 degrees. More news at 5 o'clock and As It Happens on 5AA.
Kit up for Christmas at Toolkit Depot. Now your Christmas shopping list with a sack full of gift ideas. Tools, kit or gift cards. Get a Husqvarna 14-inch petrol chainsaw for just $269. Or a Milwaukee M18 compact blower, just $156. And hit up Santa's Tool Repair and Service Workshop to get your gear good to go. Find more deals in-store and online. Open 7 days. Hurry, stock is limited. Toolkit Depot, your festive trade pro partner.
It's your last chance to win the $5 million grand prize. The St John Christmas Home Lottery is closing today. Hurry, don't miss your chance to win South Australia's biggest grand prize ever. Buy your tickets before midnight tonight to have a chance at winning a luxury North Adelaide home, an Encounter Bay beachfront residence and $1 million cash. Hop online and get your tickets at stjohnlottery.com.au. Winners drawn Wednesday, December 14. Good luck. Licence number M14265.
G'day, Jim. How was your stay in the all-new Riverview Villa at the Berry Hotel?
Oh, Pete, it was very nice.
Very? Do you mean very, mate?
No, I mean very nice. The Berry Hotel's all-new villas have very comfy beds, very nice waterfront dining, and I played a pretty good round of golf too.
Don't you mean very good round of golf, mate?
No, it wasn't that good.
The Berry Hotel, just a couple of hours from Adelaide. It's the very perfect place for your summer getaway. Book now at berryhotel.com.au. These new waterfront villas are booking very fast.
It's value the Australian way this Christmas at Coles, with 15% off ultimate gift cards in store that can be used at over 60 leading retailers. Excludes variable load. Easy gifting this festive season at Coles. Offer ends December 13. In-store only. Limits and T's and C's apply.
Hi, Susanna Toop from Toop and Toop. $3,200. That's how much it will cost you if your property manager doesn't notice a dripping hot water service. Experience peace of mind. Experience the Toop and Toop difference. Toop.com.au.
As the holidays approach, all children deserve to be rewarded for their hard work throughout the year. Sophie is 8 years old and poverty blocks her progress at every turn.
Mum says I can be anything I want to be.
She's still so determined to learn, but often she doesn't have what she needs for school. You can help remove the barriers Sophie faces by giving her access to vital out-of-school learning programs. Change the course of a child's life this Christmas. Search the Smith family and donate today.
Walker Crash Repairs. For easy insurance repairs on your caravan. Get it fixed right with Walker Crash Repairs.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Yes, 25 minutes to 5. Lots still to come in the program. Merv Hughes is going to join us. We have some Strikers tickets to the 5AA Lounge to give away shortly. Also some 36ers tickets. So plenty to come on the program. 8223 is our number. And just before we get to our next guest, lots happening in the AFL fixture. Actually, Tim, we'll read the text momentarily because they are flooding in really, really quickly. Important guest on the line.
Well, there are two sides to an AFL fixture, the football department side and the commercial side. To talk both is Crows CEO Tim Silvers. Tim, welcome.
Thanks, Rowey. Thanks for having me. Much appreciated. Haven't spoken to you guys for a while.
Yeah. I think what I've heard come out of the club, generally you sound like you're all happy.
Oh, we are. Look, to be able to get 4 games in a row at Adelaide Oval at the front end of the season is unprecedented. So we think that's a great opportunity for not only our members and fans and supporters to get behind the club. We think it's a great opportunity to get some wins on the board. We need to make Adelaide Oval a fortress. We need to be a team that's hard to beat at home, and we think it creates some really good opportunity for us to start really well. And we've also, in terms of the fixture, we did request to play some big Victorian teams up front, where we're really keen to get our members and fans back to the Adelaide Oval and experiencing live footy. And by getting some big drawing crowds like Richmond, Carlton and Collingwood, I think in our first 7 games, is a great fillip to continue the rest of the year, because they're going to bring a lot of their supporters over, and our fans will hopefully pack out Adelaide Oval. So we think it's a great result in terms of our up front of the fixture.
Yeah, 4 of your first 6 at home, 5 of your first 7, so it is terrific. It'd be lovely to hit the ground running with that. The other thing the footy department look at is your breaks. You've only got 2 6-day breaks and 1 5-day break. That's the one into the Carlton game here. How good that you get that Thursday night game?
Oh, we're ecstatic to get the Thursday night game. We're really keen to get back on the marquee time slot tour and to be able to launch Gather Round here in our home state.
Yeah.
Just an exciting opportunity. We think it's going to be fantastic. The whole weekend's going to be fantastic. Our Premier led the charge and secured it here for South Australia, for everyone, including the industry. We think it's just going to be a terrific weekend, and we get a great opportunity on Thursday night to sort of set it up for a good weekend.
Hey, Tim, talking about those early games against the Big V, I've always wondered, is there any data to back up like how many Collingwood supporters there are in Adelaide, how many Carlton supporters there are in Adelaide? Do we know where those where they rank, those Big V clubs?
Look, I think, I don't have the specific data in front of me, but I do think, would you believe, that Carlton may be the highest supported team in South Australia, and I think that dates back a little bit to the 80s when a number of good South Australians were playing for the Blues, because our second biggest game last year was a Carlton game behind the behind the showdown, and there was just Carlton people in force in town for that weekend. So I think between Carlton, Collingwood, and Richmond, that they're probably the top three.
Yep.
And we've secured them in our first seven games. So it's exciting for us, I suppose, in terms of getting big crowds, but also the opportunity to play good teams in front of big crowds. We need to challenge the best to get better in the comp, and that's going to be a test for us.
Hey, Tim, eyeball-wise, and having been in this space before, you always look at your draw to go, what can we get for our sponsors, as far as how many people can watch and the like. I was just wondering now, what is the best time slot as far as eyeballs goes? Is it Thursday night? Is it Friday night? Is it Saturday night? Which one stands out?
I think historically it's still the Friday night is the marquee slot. Thursday night I think is coming with a bullet.
Yeah.
And Saturday night is probably third. That's in terms of actual eyeballs. What I think in terms of South Australia, what is a popular time slot for us in terms of getting bums on seats.
Yep.
We find the Saturday twilight is a really well attended game. On a Saturday night is probably potentially our preferred, but the Saturday twilight is sort of after kids sport and after some of the sample games, we do seem to have some well attended games at a Saturday twilight.
The other one there is Sunday 12:40. You got 4 and Sunday twilight 6. They don't mind throwing you in the Sunday time slot either, do they, Tim?
No, they don't. Look, we'd prefer probably to play Saturday. However, we also understand that some people have different things on in their life, so Sunday may be the preferred. So you don't want to lock out one or the other. But I've said before, if we want to get the marquee time slots, we need to play a more consistent brand of footy, and the opportunity in this rolling fixture, I know there's been 15 slots allocated, is that if we can play good footy, hopefully we can command some of the more marquee time slots towards the back end of the year.
Yeah, 15 games, only 2 of them at night. One's against Port, the showdown, which is theirs, and then the Carlton one Thursday. What other requests did you make that they didn't uphold, or ones that they did? What are your requests?
Our primary requests were around the starting well. We wanted we knew we were going to be round 2, not have the first home game in town. So we requested a big Victorian team to play in round 2, which we've achieved, and we asked if we could play 2 of Richmond, Carlton, and Collingwood in the first half of the year, and they've actually delivered on all of those. So we've been excited by that part. We can't sort of designate broadcast slots, but like I said before, we've just got to potentially play a bit more consistent footy to be able to command more of the night games.
Tim, when does a CEO of an AFL club get a break? When do they get a holiday? What's the norm time to get away?
Well, I'm a bit like you guys. We work all the way to Christmas. You're probably the only radio duo still going. But
says a lot about us.
Tell that to management. But look, this year it's been a little challenging to get a break because we've had a women's season into a men's season followed by a women's season. So there hasn't been much downtime. But once we hit Christmas, I'm going to try to get away with the family and put the feet up. And the actual entire industry is trying to shut for 3 weeks over the break. So all clubs, AFL House. So hopefully it's down tools for a couple of weeks, and so we can come back re-energised and for season 23.
Because you've got a few things on the plate, no doubt. One of them getting FIVEAA to move along as well.
FIVEAA's been a big project for the club over the last sort of 12 months, and we're really excited to get some endorsement from the council probably a month back where they approved to go to the heads of agreement stage with our lease, which was a terrific milestone. Our next phase is to deliver a master plan, and we're working with important stakeholders across the community as well as our internal stakeholders to design something that's a win-win not only for the footy club and our women's team but also the community, because we want it to be a precinct that's used, a sporting and community precinct, and sort of bring the area to life. So we're still working through it, and we hope to potentially get some sort of approval on our master plan in April of next year.
Great. Kings Reserve have got a Save the Reserve Barbie from 2 o'clock this Sunday. Will you be there, Tim?
I'm not sure I will be, but
Okay.
thanks for the invite.
I won't be there. They don't want me there. Don't worry about that. So
I am meeting with some of the residents, some of the stakeholders from that group this week, and look, we're really open to feedback. We want to be a good neighbour. We want to work through this.
Okay.
We want good outcomes for everyone. So I won't be going, I don't think, to the barbecue, but they are an important stakeholder.
How many are there? 3, 4, 5? Is there 100? Is there 1,000? What are we talking about?
I'll let you make that call, Rowey.
Okay. Will Rory be captain next year?
There's been a bit of media about that. Has that been you?
No, we didn't start that.
Don't point the finger at me. He's my favourite.
Yes. I was interested to see that. Rory's our captain at the moment, but we go through all these processes through the pre-season, and we wouldn't make decisions on leadership group or captaincy. I don't think till about mid-Feb next year. He's been terrific during this season. Actually, in my time at the club, he's definitely a real positive human being and a wonderful leader. And he's come back and he's training the house down. He's putting everything he can to make sure he's available for round one, and we can make decisions on the leadership come mid-Feb, I think, next year.
Okay. You did say at the moment, I'm not trying to draw anything out of you here, Tim, but you have been having discussions, otherwise people wouldn't be talking about it. So is the club instigating that, or is Rory? Has Rory said, no, I'm captain?
I think publicly he said that he wants to be captain next year, but he'd also do whatever's the best for the footy club. So I think they're continual conversation that Nixie and Sloaney would be having. But look, there's no decisions made on that whatsoever. We're just going through a normal process. When Taylor was captain, even when Nathan Van Burley, you make decisions on your leadership group a couple of months into pre-season, and we're not going to alter that because of some pressures in the media.
Oh, God, we get a lot of texts on Fisher Mackesy. Have you got an update for that while we got you, Tim?
Oh, look, I don't have a major update that changes what we've gone through publicly. He's on personal leave at the minute. We wish him all the best. We're in constant communication with him. He's on personal leave up until Christmas, and we're expecting him to be hopefully good and available by, I think it is 10th of Jan.
Okay. One last one. We've got a Foodland text. The 2 Indigenous games a game. Usually that's your top request. Have you got the Indigenous game?
Oh, you always get an Indigenous game now. They've changed it. So we obviously have secured it. I think we're playing Brisbane, and we're going to do a major event in and around it. But because of the change of having it for 2 rounds, it hasn't been our priority request. So we didn't want to waste one, I guess, on that. So we focused on getting the big Victorian teams up front, which we've been able to secure.
Have a great break, Tim. Look, I think it's an exciting year ahead. There's plenty of promise there. Merry Christmas.
Thanks for your support, guys. Really appreciate it, and I'll speak to you in the new year.
Well done. Tim Silver's there, CEO of the Adelaide Crows.
Yeah, well, some interesting answers coming on the back of that. We might have to play them very shortly, and just to rehash what we just heard, it is currently 13 minutes to 5. Very shortly, Port Adelaide fans, your CEO, Matthew Richardson, will join us as well to get the lowdown on what the fixture looks like for the Power heading into next year. But first, the traffic. Buying Mitsubishi or getting your car service, head into the all-new Wavell Mitsubishi or Southern Mitsubishi.
Well, it's doing pretty good for the drive home today. No great hassles, although slow going around Rowey at the moment for the intersection upgrade of Cross Road and Fullerton Road. Speeds at 40 right now. Got a line out of action at Glen, Paynham Road near Montague Road, and we're quite busy at the moment. Anzac Highway at Maureen Road. Look out for cameras at Briar Road, Felixstowe, and Cliff Streets at Glengarry. Bunnings can help you give your loved ones more for less this Christmas. Visit bunnings.com.au or drop in your local warehouse today and make the most of Bunnings' extended opening hours. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Everyday low prices, any time of year. Trust the mighty South Aussies. Great food lives here. Foodland, the mighty South Aussies, yeah.
full range of Weber barbecues at my Barbecue Adelaide Weber stores. We've got the full range of Weber barbecues, all the Yeti here under the sun, plus more rubs and sauces than you can poke your tongs at. So, for everything Barbie this summer, check out my Barbecue Adelaide Weber stores, James Cross and Mile End, and prepare to get lit.
A shock absorber, CV joint, or maybe a bearing kit. It may seem like just a four-wheel-drive part, but open it up and you'll find so much more. Each Terrain Tamer four-wheel drive part is the culmination of 50 years of experience. Every break, every lesson, every setback far from home strengthens everything we do. So when you break down miles from home and you drag out our number, you'll know you're in safe hands. That's the Terrain Tamer connection, and it comes free with every part.
Now, Rowey, 35 on Saturday.
Oh, wasn't it warm?
Yeah, it was warm, wasn't it? So I was doing the right thing. I got the Walco blankie and put it onto the pool so there would be no water evaporation that evening. So it's a very smart thing to do because Walco is the pool blanket that you got to love.
Is yours a solar? Because it warms the pool up as well.
It is,
Oh,
but
God,
it'll
they're good.
evaporate. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. A Walco pool blanket would not only help keep your pool clean and warm, but it'll also help stop evaporation.
There it is.
Now, let's face it, we all live in the dry state, the driest continent in the world. We're a bit like Mars. Mars looks dry, doesn't it? Well, a Walco pool blanket is an absolute must. And I tell you, if there were Martians with pools, they'd have one.
Oh, absolutely. They're not,
Boom.
well, they're superior intelligence. It's easy to put your pool to bed each night with a Walco pool blanket, especially when you have the Walco pool blanket roller. No point without the roller, ladies and gentlemen. Get the roller. And the bit we really love here at 5AA is that Walco's the only pool blanket manufactured right here in Adelaide. Nothing is imported. How good. So get your pool a Walco blanket for summer now. It'll thank you. Walco.com.au.
Hey Strikers fans, Sid's here and you don't want to miss this. It's our season opener against the Sydney Sixers on Wednesday, December 14 at Adelaide Oval. Not going to lie, I'm pretty excited about this one and you should be too, as we'll be launching the P-City 2.0 shades as our match day giveaway. These are this summer's hottest item. Visit AdelaideStrikers.com.au for tickets, and I can't wait to see the best fans in the league back at Adelaide Oval this summer.
I'm Kathy Nagel, Chief Executive of Western Hospital Henley Beach. Are you looking for a new GP? Western Hospital GP Clinic delivers primary care to all. Our GPs and experienced practice staff will assist you with your health journey and be there for you when you need it most, from young families to seniors. Healthcare assessments and care plans are just part of the services offered here at Western Hospital GP Clinic by our 12 friendly GPs. For more information or to make an appointment online, visit westernhospitalgp.com.au.
Introducing Toshiba's Holley air conditioner. It's whisper quiet, comes with a 7-year warranty and an elegant interchangeable textile fabric cover to match the colour and style of your own home. Haoi by Toshiba. Call 13 Cool. Feel the change.
Scraped your caravan? Walker Crash Repairs, an RAA-approved caravan crash repairer.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
8 minutes to 5. Your Adelaide 36ers are back this Saturday, the 17th of December, Entertainment Centre. One of the best places to watch basketball, if not the best in the entire nation. They're playing the Brisbane Bullets. Tip off at 7:30. Tickets from Ticketek, but we have your chance to win a family pass right here, right now. 8223 if you want to head along. A family pass, 4 tickets. Brisbane Bullets, 36ers this Saturday.
Yeah, good. I want to just play this, Timmy. Crows CEO Tim Silvers, he spoke about Rory Sloane as captain next year.
Rory's our captain at the moment, but we go through all these processes through the pre-season, and we wouldn't make decisions on leadership group or captaincy. I don't think till about mid-Feb next year.
How did you interpret that?
Well, captain at the moment would suggest they're discussing. Now,
it's at least on the table, isn't it?
Well, it might very well be. It's either Rory's put it on the table as an agenda item, or the football department has, or the leadership of the club, which is the CEO, Tim Silvers, has. I think all three, probably. For me, Rory wants to be captain. The last cross we did with Rory on air, he said, yeah, I want to be captain. I'm going to get back. I'm going to fight hard. And I think Rory has to be captain because there's no standout for me. It's not Bone to Bickley, Bickley to Roo, Roo to Goody, and, Walker to Rory. There's no real standout. And the reason I say that is Tom Doedee, people are touting. He's a free agent this year. He hasn't signed yet.
Ooh.
Now, why hasn't he signed? Is he looking to move, or are they looking to move him on? I don't know. Now, I don't know whether he is the next man in waiting, and everyone's been pumping up Jordan Dawson. Well, the Jordan Dawson I know, he wants to just get himself involved.
What's his personality like? I've never met the lad. Is he an
he'd be a
introvert
great
or an
leader.
extrovert?
Well, probably more introvert than extrovert.
Okay.
He's a quiet lad. He's
Yeah.
unassuming. He's super professional. I think he's one of those lads who needs to concentrate on his footy to get his best footy.
Because you don't want that affecting
See,
his
when
footy.
you were captain, you rose. When Bickley was captain, he rose. When Roo was captain, he rose. I'm not saying that Jordan won't. Some people, it's like a chalice. I mean, did Gavin Wanganeen rise in the captaincy?
Yeah, I think he got it.
You know what I'm
he
trying
got
to
it
say?
prematurely. I think he would have liked it later on.
Later on.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think Jordan Dawson may be that. So I think Rory will be the captain.
There you go.
We'll see. Hey, I got some calls and some text here. I do like this one. Did Port ask the game against North Melbourne to not be in Melbourne because of the crybaby? That's from that's from Tim from Prospect.
Nah, there wouldn't have been a request on that game, I don't think, in particular.
But is that a question for after 5 o'clock?
Oh, you can ask Matthew.
You can ask.
There's no way they would ask to schedule a game based on one individual.
I do like this one too. Is Rowe available? We need a clown for the King's Reserve barbecue. That's a good one, Timmy.
Yeah.
I'm unavailable at 2 because I'll be fishing, you numbnuts.
I tell you, this one is interesting on the text line. Why don't clubs like Carlton have to perform to a super high level to command the big time slots?
Correct.
And that is true. I know when Port was struggling, we couldn't get any good games and we were going, we need games for the eyeballs, for sponsors and all the rest of it. They said, play better and get in the finals and go well.
And you'll be rewarded.
And we'll be rewarded. You
No,
still
you're
have to fight tooth and nail. You still do.
How you going, Michael?
How are you, boys?
How are you?
What are you thinking, Michael?
Come on, Michael. Fire up.
Anyway, what I will actually point out is we took the gather round, like you said, Tim. Whoever actually come up with that, I wouldn't say sacked, I'd say be gone.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, though, it was an opportunity for Adelaide to be able to show herself.
Yeah.
And between the government and the AFL have not allowed that. I cannot believe we've got 4 or 5 games at Adelaide Oval. It is just literally like a normal round. The other thing I will point out is, why would you not have a game for tourists coming from Brisbane, Victoria, Western Australia, to be able to play a game at the Bay? You can get the bus, train, tram, enjoy what the city has to actually offer. Nobody actually thought of it.
Yeah, it's a good point. Not having 2 at Nord and they have 1 more at the Bay. Michael might be right. We'll give Michael a $50 house voucher. He's a little bit worked
I will
up with that one.
defend the state government. They didn't have any bearing on where those games were played. Because I know they would have loved, I think, the one in the Barossa. I think also to maybe share one down the Bay would have been a great idea as well.
I love listening to KG and Cornsey. Generally, I'm out fishing. I wasn't this time, but yeah, they were on and they were talking about the gather round, and someone said in a text,
Oh, no, we're not going there.
Yeah, we're not going there.
No, we're not going to go there.
Because he already made the mistake, Stephen. We don't want that mistake made
mistake?
again. We read it out.
2
He read the text
minutes
out.
how
to
funny was
5.
that? Don't you reckon that was funny? Hang on, I've got another text. How's this? Bloody Crows again are the Leyland brothers. They play in New South Wales, Launceston, Ballarat, Darwin, Melbourne, which is the MCG and Marvel, Gabba, and the last game's in Perth. That's why we call it the VFL. That is true. I only just looked at that. They're in every state. They go from Darwin to Launceston to Perth. I mean, they do.
Again,
they do a lot of heavy lifting.
Again, if you're not from the state of Victoria, you will do
and
enormous amount of travel, unfortunately.
Well, that's true, but I don't mind that. But why do the Crows have to get the Ballarat game again? They ought to roster that, because that's a straightaway loss.
Well, I wonder if...
Although the Crows did have a terrific win against them.
They did last year.
Yeah, they did. But
One of the best of the year.
once again, maybe it's at the beginning, maybe it's one of the requests you put in. By the way,
Don't send us to Ballarat.
Don't send us to Ballarat. We feel like we've done our time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fair.
It's 1 minute to 5, and if you are in the lineup for the Gather round, that tickets are on sale on Ticketek in 1 minute's time. So get yourself your tickets for what is going to be a massive April weekend in South Australia next year. We're going to take a break. Port Adelaide's CEO Matthew Richardson to join us after the 5 o'clock news.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. He's the king of breakfast TV and the chairman of The Power. And each Monday, David Kosh joins David and Will on 5AA Breakfast.
You're a decades-long TV veteran now. Have you got any tips for Will? What's the key thing to achieve longevity and success in television?
Don't pretend to be anyone you're not. I reckon you get found out, particularly on TV. If you're a bit of a wanker, you'll get found out really quickly.
Catch Koshy each Monday on 5AA Breakfast.
Mini Jumbuck, now in McLaren Vale, make Australia's favourite wool bedding product, proudly made right here in South Australia. Mini Jumbuck uses the finest Australian wool to handcraft their quilts, mattress toppers, pillows and more. If you're looking to improve your quality of sleep, start with a visit to Mini Jumbuck McLaren Vale today. You'll find great Christmas gift ideas too for both adults and children. Slippers, soft toys, clothing and much more. Mini Jumbuck McLaren Vale, open 7 days. Australian made, Australian owned.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. It's holiday season, but now's not the time to sit back if you're thinking of selling your home. The Adelaide property market continues to outperform the rest of the nation, and there's still a good opportunity to achieve a premium result for your home. Buyers aren't spending their break just eating turkey. With low stock levels, they're proactively trying to secure their next property. If you'd like to know how much your home might be worth in today's market, visit toop.com.au to find out more.
Back by popular demand. They paid me to say that. Another Christmas carol from the team at Adelaide Exposed Concrete.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing do dismay. Remember Christ our Saviour was born on Christmas Day to save us all from...
Time's up! Don't give up your day job. Adelaide Exposed Concrete. Best on ground all year round. Just not caroling.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 12. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Michaela Kamarek. A killer remains on the run after a man was gunned down in an Edwardstown street. The 41-year-old was found lying on Dunallen Road last night. Attempts to save him failed. He was known to police and had associates in the area. Detective Inspector Mark McEachin is urging anyone with information to come forward.
We're also appealing for dash cam for anyone that may have travelled down the road last night between about 8:30pm and 9:30pm. In particular, that may have driven down the road at about 9:15pm last night.
Police have arrested a 7th person as part of the ongoing investigation into an alleged gang rape in the city. The 16-year-old boy from Alberton has been charged with 2 counts of rape. 2 young women were allegedly dragged into the stairwell of a Hindley Street car park and raped earlier this month, then bribed not to go to police. A high school student visiting Adelaide Zoo today has entered the giant panda habitat. It was to retrieve a mobile phone that had fallen inside the enclosure. Zoo CEO Elaine Benstead says staff quickly removed the student to safety.
There was no giant panda in sight through this entire time. In fact, I think Wong Wong slept through all of the excitement. My staff didn't, and I must say the staff responded very, very quickly. It's one of the reasons we do drills regularly.
The Greens are adamant they will not back energy legislation that provides financial support to coal companies. The federal government needs to get its bill passed this week, which would force a temporary cap on the price of gas and coal. There are concerns coal producers could be compensated for any loss of income. Greens leader Adam Bant says if that's the case, his party won't support the bill.
We won't back compensation to coal corporations. We'll just have to have a look at the legislation. We haven't seen the legislation yet. The Greens will consider our final position when our party room meets tomorrow afternoon.
Australia Post is advising owners to keep their pets secure following a spike in dog attacks. Over the past 5 months, nearly 1,000 Australian Post workers have been attacked by household dogs. Executive General Manager of People and Culture, Susan Davies, says everyone has a responsibility to keep posties safe.
Dog attacks can actually result in fatalities. So it is really critically important that every dog owner keeps their dogs secured and that everyone plays a part in the safety campaign.
Now turning to 5AA sport, and the A-League says it's trying to be more proactive by awarding the men's and women's grand finals to Sydney for the next 3 years. Interstate fans have voiced their displeasure, but A-League Chief Executive Danny Townsend insists it was the right call.
You've got to have the conviction to do these things. Our game particularly doesn't have the luxury of time and doesn't have the luxury of complacency. We've got to go out and challenge the idea and do things differently.
Australian cricket selectors face a tough choice between Michael Neser and Scott Boland for the first test against South Africa. With Pat Cummins returning from injury, one of the fast bowlers has to make way. And Scott Pendlebury has decided to hand over the Collingwood captaincy after 9 seasons in the role. Now checking 5AA traffic.
No great hassles for the drive home today. Simply a few works to keep in mind. You'll find them at Glynn. Got a lane closed there, Paynham Road near Montague Road. Slow going for the intersection upgrade at Erbray, Cross Road and Fullerton Road. Speed's down to 40 at the moment. Got work slowing things up at Osborne, Victoria Road near Whedon Street. And look out for cameras, Bry Road, Felixstowe and Grand Junction Road at Hope Valley. Car ready for a clean? Head for Happy Wash. It's quick, convenient and comes with a scratch-free guarantee. Happy Wash, happy car and OTR. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 12. A possible shower tomorrow, 19. Cloudy on Wednesday, 19. And cloudy for Thursday and a top of 21. Right now it's 17 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
A man gunned down in an Edwardstown street. Are baby terrorists frightening guilty pleas from a southern suburbs boy? Hospitals issue a Christmas warning about lithium batteries. The new app swinging South Aussies into action to help with cardiac arrest. And bank your unspent extras, the revolutionary new health insurance. I'm Will McDonald. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
Next time you buy seafood from the deli section of your supermarket, ask them if they know who caught it. Oh wait, sorry, you can't, because they won't know. Unlike Kirkbride Seafood, they won't have the contact details of the person who caught it, what time it was caught, or where it was caught. I mean, you'd have to care a hell of a lot to go to those sorts of lengths. Lucky for you, Kirkbride Seafood do. Doothie Street, Unley. kirkbrideseafood.com.au.
SA's own and favourite milk company, FIVEAA Milk Company, is giving you the chance to win a $4,000 Phil Hoffman travel voucher. Take home our limited edition Christmas products and get creative. Take a pic of them under your Christmas tree as a Chrissy decoration. Anything you can think of. Then share your pics on Facebook or Instagram and tag FIVEAA Milk Company and Phil Hoffman Travel. You could win a $4,000 travel voucher. T's and C's apply. See website for details.
When did I start chatting with Mum and Dad about getting a little help around the house?
Well, we're no spring chickens. We knew the housework was getting a bit much.
So we had a chat. Then we talked to FIVEAA, who guided us on home care packages and how to access them.
And now life feels a little easier, with a bit more time for coffee and cake.
Care to talk retirement living care options? Call FIVEAA on 13 28 36 or search FIVEAA Care to Talk.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
7 minutes after 5. Murph Hughes coming up this hour to talk about the Test series that's just been and gone and one that's coming up against South Africa. We're also going to talk the World Cup and the A-League Grand Final heading to Sydney for the next 3 years, which has fans up in arms across the country. And the Strikers tickets we have to give away to our 5AA Lounge, they're still in our hands. We want to give them to you at some point in the next hour or two, so stay tuned for that. But the AFL fixture, of course, dropping yesterday. Lots to get stuck into at Port Adelaide.
Absolutely. We heard from the Adelaide Crows CEO. We've now got the Port Adelaide CEO, Matthew Richardson, on the line. And Richo, sunning yourself on the Sunshine Coast, I imagine?
Hello, Tim, Stephen. No, definitely not sunning myself. But
I was very tired last night just watching them run, so that was enough for me.
Well, we're suffering through about 19 degrees here. What were the conditions for the boys?
Yeah, it's pretty warm. It's 28, 29, but you've got that sort of layer of humidity that just makes it feel a bit warmer, and probably hasn't been the best preparation in Adelaide in the last 6 months, given how cold and wet it's been. So it's good to be up here. The guys have got a really solid week of training in, and it's a good way to finish the year.
Now, you always put a Christmas wish list in. What did AFL Santa deliver for you?
Yeah, so AFL, we haven't played a home game in round one for, I think, 2018, and that's more to do with COVID sort of messing things around a little bit. So we're really pleased. We play round one at home, which is great for our members and supporters. Brisbane, Saturday twilight. Saturday, round three showdown Saturday night, which is great. Gather round on a Saturday night, Anzac round, and then we actually open Sir Doug Nicholls round on a Friday night against Melbourne in round 10, I think it is. So,
it is.
Again, I think with these things, you're always looking for a balance. You want good time slots for your members and supporters. Commercially, it's a strong draw. We've got a number of free-to-air games in good time slots through the first 14 rounds, and then if you look at the second block of games which haven't been fixed yet, we've got home games against Collingwood, Essendon, some big games that hopefully also will, if we perform, will be in good time slots also. So yeah, all in all, it's we're pleased.
Were you surprised by the double-up games against Geelong, Collingwood, Richmond, and Bulldogs?
Look, I think I've learnt in this that if you sit here this time of year and try and work out who the teams are, you think about Collingwood last year as a really good example where there might have been some clubs thinking, wow, we've got Collingwood twice, and as it turns out, they were
outstanding,
top three most of the year. So look, at the end of the day, the important thing for us is we've got to get away to a really good start.
Yep.
We've got a challenging start, but that's an opportunity, and we see that as a positive.
7 games in Melbourne, is that by design? You're happy with that? You've only got an SCG game, a Tassie game and a Perth game, so really, I reckon that's pretty solid.
Yeah, it is. 7 in Melbourne is great. We know that our people love to travel, and especially in Melbourne. We've got 3 at the MCG, 3 at Marvel. We head down the highway to Geelong. We go to Sydney. We haven't been to Sydney for a number of years, so that's good for the people that we've got in New South Wales, and also we go down to Tassie and 1 to Perth. So our away game mix is good also in terms of giving our people the opportunity to get around the country, and for the supporters that we have got in those places.
What didn't you get? What did you put on the bit of paper? Hey, we want this.
No, I don't think there's anything, Rowey, that we particularly asked for that we didn't get. The AFL are usually pretty good with with all the clubs' fixture requests. There's always 1 or 2 feature games that all clubs are looking to, and the AFL do a pretty good job. And I've got to say it is pretty challenging when you've got 18 teams, broadcasters, and all those different variables. It can be a challenge.
Did anyone from your commercial team go, oh God, they could have done a bit better for us? Are you happy with your free-to-air exposure?
Yeah, we are. We're really happy. We've got, we'll go back a few years, we would have been getting 3 or 4 in a whole season. We've got 7 in our first 14 that are free-to-air. So that's significant, really good value for our partners. And again, they're in good time slots.
Hey, Richo, gather round. A little bit of confusion. We had some texts and some callers saying that they were online and they could only get level 1 tickets. Level 5 and 3 just weren't coming up. So it sounded like a bit of a battle to get tickets. I know that this is not a Port Adelaide or Adelaide Football Club membership issue. It gets thrown over to the AFL. But did you hear anything? I suppose you would have got a lot of feedback?
Yeah, we did, Tim. We had quite a few calls from members today. I mean, really, the way that it works is like a final in that members, and it is a bonus, let's face it. It's great that, Premier Malinauskas has done a terrific job on behalf of South Australia and on behalf of footy to gather around here in South Australia, and, I know that everyone will really get behind it. So, effectively our members get an extra game, which is terrific. It's just that they redeem their tickets. So I think there was a little bit of confusion about that today. I think tickets are going on sale to the public from tomorrow, so members can get online and they can't necessarily sit in the allocated seat that they usually have, but they can, they can select from various bays, and sometimes that's positive too, because people get used to sitting in one part of the stadium and they go and sit in another one for a certain game and realise that, at Adelaide Oval, let's face it, there's not a bad seat in the house.
Yeah, that happened a bit during COVID. Hey, mate, we've got six-day breaks. The one break I can see for the players is the game against Geelong in round 14. That is a Thursday night. It then leads into the bye, which they have off, of course. The Essendon game the following week, if that was played on a Sunday, because it's not allocated at the moment, that could be a massive break for the players.
Yeah, I know our high performance guys do look at that a little bit. I think what we learned through COVID was, we were playing games with 5-day breaks. We were travelling back and forth on the day of the game. So, I think the guys are that well prepared these days. They know how to manage these situations. And I think we would look at the season and go, well, we know we've got these blocks, but also then we know come round 15, which is our bye, there's an opportunity for them to have a really good break through that period. So, our high performance guys do a terrific job, and I'm sure they'll manage that really well and plan for it.
We've got Port CEO Matthew Richardson on. Sometimes it's good to ask good questions for you to speak directly to your members. So give us a bit of an update for your redevelopment. How's that going? You getting some sand in your teeth, Richo?
Yeah, there's a bit of dust in the eyes, and a bit of dust on the nice shiny new precinct over on the western side. But the Alan Scott building is that all the demolitions all happened, and now we're we're hopeful of being back in. There's a fair bit of work happening inside. We're keen to get the men's program are operating at the moment over in the Williams stand, which was also upgraded this year, and that's a great facility now. But we're keen to get that group back into the new change rooms, and hopefully by the end of April. We've got the W group coming back in May, so we've sort of got to try and make that shuffle work, and then hopefully the full redevelopment, or this stage of the redevelopment, will be completed by the time we're ready to start the next AFLW season in September. So there's a lot happening. It's really exciting, and by this time next year, it's going to be a world-class facility for our players, but also it's such a great place for our members and our supporters to come, and the new deck looking out over Adelaide Oval, and people can see all the work happening at the moment. So it's a pretty busy, vibrant place.
We had a text about your club debt last week. It's a good chance for you to verbalise where it's at. So how much is it, and how much will you draw down again this year on the back of last year?
So we've had another really, really strong year, and we'll make an announcement in the next, probably before Christmas, I would think. On the back of COVID, our debt had got out to $12 million. It is important to note that $8 million of that is historical debt that are related to our AFL licence. Our debt, we'll make another significant chunk in that this year. So, financially, the club is in a really strong position. We didn't waste the crisis that COVID provided a lot of clubs, and, I think a lot of clubs are in the same boat, sort of recut our cloth. And really pleasingly, our core business revenues and membership, sponsorship, ticket sales are all well beyond where they were in 2019. So, so we're tracking really well.
Some businesses can carry debt. Some like to be debt-free. Aspirationally, from your board and your executive, how much of a priority is that?
It's important, but our priority is to build a really powerful financial business that supports our core business, which of course is footy. So we're focused on that. We're focused on building our asset base, our non-footy asset base. And you look at the investment in our social club at Alberton, we own that facility. it's a significant revenue generating asset that the club owns, and those types of things are going to be important into the future to, I guess, diversify your revenue away from just the ups and downs of footy performance.
Richo, I'll let you get back to the Sunshine Coast camp. Did you see any of my past teammates up there wandering around like cane toads?
Yeah, Russell Johnson and Roger Delaney were keeping a very close eye on training today, so it was really good to see them, and Roger's lad Cooper. So it was good to see them, and I'm sure a few more of your mates, Tim, will pop down over the next couple of days.
Hang on, we need a Roger Delaney report.
Yeah.
Did he rock up in his DBs?
Because I told him not to rock up in the Speedos. It was very disturbing for the boys last time they went to the camp, and I hope he hasn't done that.
He listened to you, Tim, so it was all good.
Board shorts from here on in. Love it, mate. Hey, enjoy the camp. Come back in one piece, mate, and all the best for season 2023.
Good on you guys. Thank you.
Matthew Richardson, CEO of Port Adelaide.
No, excellent. That's fantastic. Just a quick text here. Hey, Timmy, it was great to see you looking after your dear mum at the nursing home on Saturday. Maybe you and Rowey should do a show down there one day. The residents would love it, and they'd really stick it up, Row.
Well, there's a few Crow supporters there.
But what?
Yeah, I've met them. Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So you think 80-year-old plus people would like to just rip one right in me?
No, I reckon they'd love to see you. No doubt about that. I'd love to see you down there.
Timmy, well, that's an invite.
Yeah,
no name. That's it. Don't go offering something that you're not going to follow through with.
It's at Seaton, so it's not too far from either of us. All right, I'm interested in that.
All right, we'll consider that for 2023. Hey, if you want to head along to the Big Bash, we have a double pass to give along to our 5AA Lounge. Not one, but two, in fact. We're being very generous tonight on a Monday show. 8223 0055. We have a quiz to give away a couple of double passes to the 5AA Lounge. Food, drink, great hospitality. I think Wayne Phillips is generally up there doing his best work. So a lot of fun. Strikers against the Sixers on Wednesday night. 8223 0055 will play next versus Check Your Traffic. Buying Mitsubishi or getting your car service, head for the all-new Wayville Mitsubishi or Southern Mitsubishi.
At Elizabeth Park at a Carvey Tree, Main North Road at Ifold Road. A Gilman crash on the Port River Expressway near the Eastern Parade exit. That's as you're heading outbound. Black Forest, level crossing fault there, East Avenue at Canterbury Terrace. That's causing you headaches, as you'd expect. And slow going for works at Urbray with the intersection upgrade of Cross Road and Fullerton Road. Canberra tonight, Church Road, Paradise and Gage Streets at Firle. Westfield Marion, Tea Tree Plaza and West Lakes will be open until midnight this Thursday for all your Christmas shopping needs. Expect hundreds of offers, events, entertainment and more. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. Join Jade Robrin in the studio every afternoon with 5AA's live video stream. Thanks to Foodland. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Da-da-da-da! Barnsey here from Barbecue Adelaide Weber Stores. Are you hosting Christmas Day at your joint this year? Do you want to be number one with your friends and family? Well, come check out my Barbecue Adelaide Weber Stores. We got the full range of Weber barbecues, rubs, sauces, and we'll show you exactly what you'll need to host an epic Christmas Day lunch. So, for everything barbie and Christmas this year, head to Barbecue Adelaide Weber Stores, Jeffs Cross and Mile End, and prepare to get lit.
Hi, it's Eddie May from NRG Solar. Did you know solar is still the cheapest form of power in South Australia? So if you're not going solar, you're paying too much for your electricity. Jump on board now before the government rebates fall again at the end of December. Act now and you can save thousands of dollars on a typical system tailor-made for you. If you wait until next year, those savings simply won't be there. Get in touch today. Visit nrgsolar.com.au because solar is all we do.
Timmy, here's a true SA family business. ASIC Couriers, they've got brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, everything. But they need more truck drivers. They can't just rely on family.
Well, that's the biggest issue at the moment. They've got so much work, but they need more truck drivers on the road so they can keep delivering on their high standard and perfect service. So, due to new contracts starting, ASIC really do need truck drivers urgently. So if you want to join, you'll get paid a whopping $1,500.
Walk through the door, truck licence, I'm in, ASIT, there's $1,500.
Hand it
Oxford
over.
Scholars. $1,500. What are you waiting for? Get on the blower and ring the team at ASIC Couriers. Kickstart your career. Community-minded, brilliant business. Love these
Absolutely.
guys. If you've got a truck licence, you're in. Conditions apply. Get to it.
Hey Strikers fans, Sid's here and you don't want to miss this. It's our season opener against the Sydney Sixers on Wednesday, December 14 at Adelaide Oval. Not going to lie, I'm pretty excited about this one and you should be too, as we'll be launching the P-City 2.0 shades as our match day giveaway. These are this summer's hottest item. Visit adelaidestrikers.com.au for tickets, and I can't wait to see the best fans in the league back at Adelaide Oval this summer.
What does Bob Burns Blinds say to summer? Bring it on! Get set for summer now at Bob Burns Blinds with 30 to 50% off selected items. Transform your home with gorgeous window finishes, including custom-made zip screen outdoor blinds designed and made right here in SA. With super quick installation, high-quality materials and first-rate service, creating stunning spaces has never been easier. Get set for summer now with 30 to 50% off selected items. Book your free measure and quote today. Visit bobburnsblinds.com.au.
Be prepared for life's ups and downs with Bupa. Get 6 weeks free when you join on eligible products. Plus, you won't have to reserve waiting periods you've already served. T's and C's apply. Search Bupa 6 weeks free today. Bupa, because life happens.
Walker Crash Repairs. For easy insurance repairs on your caravan. Get it fixed right with Walker Crash Repairs.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
24 after 5. Lots of texts we'll get through in just a moment. And your calls, 822 300 00. Tomorrow, we'll be live in the Rundle Mall for those, and a lot of Strikers stuff to give away as well. It's going to be a massive afternoon for the Strikers. But we'll be there live from 4 till 7. So you can come down and say hello as we get started for the Big Bash season ahead.
Leslie from Albert Park, you've got a chance to win Strikers doubles. Here's Timmy.
Absolutely. Woo! All right, Leslie. I'll give you a question and I'll give you a clue to it. Peter Siddle joined the Adelaide Strikers in which year? It's between 2015 and 2020.
Les.
2019.
2019.
Oh, someone came off the top too.
There was a little bit of assistance, but didn't work. Matt from Shido Park. Matt, did you hear the question?
Yeah, I did. 217.
217 is correct. Congratulations, Matt. You get yourself a double to the Adelaide Strikers to take on the Sydney Sixers.
How good's that? It's in the 5AA Lounge. And we've got another question here. Shane at Mount Barker.
Goes again.
Yeah.
Here's Timmy.
Okay, Shane. Chris Lynn has joined the Strikers for the first time. How old is Chris? It's between 30 and 40.
35.
Too high,
in the
Shane.
middle, unfortunately. Go to Nick. G'day, Nick.
Hey, boys.
Chris Lynn, how old is he?
32.
Oh, well done, Nick. Right away, bang.
Toggio.
Happy days. Well done, mate. You're going to the Sydney Sixers this, that'll be Wednesday,
This
won't
Wednesday.
it? It is Wednesday. It's
Game
on.
one.
Get
Wednesday night.
Well played, mate.
Thanks, fellas.
Good
on
luck.
you, Nick. You'll absolutely love that. Taking your calls, 822 300 00. Thank you to everyone. Cricket pitch at Glenelg Oval is the main reason why Glenelg didn't get considered for a gather-round game. Mark, well, I'm wondering whether or not with drop-ins and technology and that is the reason, isn't it?
Well, I dispute that because there is one in the Mount Barker Oval.
There is.
That one of our employees' sons plays on it every week. So,
Okay.
that one.
Okay. Yeah. Well, they weren't consulted, were they? So
Nobody was consulted.
No.
You heard that on KG and Cornsey Saturday morning, they got the head of the Barossa League. Nobody came. They didn't know they were in
not one
town.
person,
They had
not
no
one
idea.
person. Hello, Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy Top Gun from Adelaide United. How you doing?
Hey,
Good on
g'day, buddy.
Jimmy.
How are you, mate?
And Timmy just did his first raspberry on radio. I thought that was... how you going, you big Top Gun?
Really pissed off. Annoyed.
Jimmy.
Who gives them the right to decide the grand final where it's going to be played?
I'm with you.
Seriously?
Yep.
Who do you think? Let's say Adelaide and Perth get in it, or Adelaide and Melbourne get in it, or
Brisbane.
Adelaide and Brisbane.
Yep.
Or, anyone. Brisbane and Perth, whatever.
Yep.
Why do we have to travel to the expensive state?
Yep.
It's expensive enough now. Houses are going up. Rents have gone up. The people are just suffering, and we got to pay higher dollars to go over to Sydney. And what? have only about 30,000 people instead of a full crowd like we did here with the Western Wanderers when we were both in it. Everyone loves travelling.
Yeah.
I just pissed off. Everyone's pissed off.
All right,
Go
Jimmy.
to hell, A-League.
No, Jimmy, I know you're emotional, but you're right. 2016, I went to that grand final.
It was awesome, wasn't it?
It was superb. Jimmy's upset. We get that. He's passionate about his Reds.
Yeah.
Stay with us because we're going to speak to Adam Peacock. He's a stocker journo from Code Sports, Jimmy, and we'll do the same crack. Actually, in actual fact, we might even play him what Jimmy said.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm big.
Well, that's as good as an example as you get, isn't it? G'day, Dave. What do you think of Gather Round, mate?
Mate, I was just wondering, with all the people, be quiet, all the people complaining that, about why it didn't go to this place, didn't go to this, can you get someone from the AFL to explain exactly what an oval had to have to get selected?
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, even, obviously the clubs aren't going to want their players on B grade, and I'm not casting dispersions on the bays by saying B-grade ground or anything like that. That'd be one point. I believe and heard that it's got to be even as much as to do with coaches' boxes.
Yes, yes.
Yep. So maybe we should, you guys should actually get someone from the AFL and say, all right, what protocols did you use to come up with the grounds that you're having?
It's a great call, Dave.
We can stop this crap about, the government wanted it here, there. Well, we know probably the AFL decided it all on themselves.
Yep.
But then we know why the Barossa missed out, and maybe there's an opportunity in the future for the places it did. And I mean, the place at Mount Barker is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's as good a ground as in the state. We'll do that, Dave. That's a really good call. We get Travis Ald on and say, what was the criteria? If they had a cricket pitch. Here's the thing, Dave. We had James Fantasia on from Norwood. They're putting the coaches' boxes in.
Yeah.
So what would they be each worth? 50 grand? I mean, the Norwood coaches' boxes, I've coached them. They're tiny.
Yeah.
So they're putting that in. If you didn't have the right size golf they'll put that in.
Correct.
Norwood's deck right now, and I love my Norwood parade, would be the worst deck in the state. Right. They wouldn't even play AFLW on it. It was just terrible. So they're going to have to pump money into that. So it can't be the deck. Can't be that because they've got the resource to do it. Can't be this is cricket pitches.
And the fact is, it didn't sound like anybody was consulted other than the AFL consulting themselves.
We had the GM, the president of the Mount Barker Footy Club. He had no clue.
No, he wasn't told anything.
Colonel Schulz.
Yeah,
he know nothing. And he did know nothing. Timmy, he knew nothing.
5:30. We're going to check the headlines very shortly. On the other side, we're going to talk some Test cricket. Merv Hughes, who's been at the Adelaide Oval all week and been checking out the Test series against the Windies and how it's all gone down, he'll break it down for us next.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, I'm Michaela Kamarek. The federal opposition will not support Labor's energy policy as the government battles to get its reforms passed. A killer remains on the run after a 41-year-old man was gunned down in an Edwardstown street last night. Australia Post is advising owners to keep their pets secure following a spike in dog attacks. And Collingwood's longest-serving captain, Scott Pendlebury, has stepped down ahead of the 2023 season. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Elizabeth Park at a Carvey Tree, Main North Road at Ifold Road. Gilman got a crash on the Port River Expressway near the Eastern Parade exit as you're heading outbound. Pretty heavy delays at the moment there too. Black Forest level crossing fault causing for headaches. East Avenue at Canterbury Terrace. And we're getting quite busy Anzac Highway at Marion Road. Look out for cameras at Cliff Street, Glengarry and Finnis Streets at Marion. Say yeah, nah to Qatar and yes to Sportsbet, the easiest place to bet this World Cup. Download the Sportsbet app today. Gamble responsibly, 1-800-858-858. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 12. A possible shower tomorrow, 19. Currently at 16 degrees. More news at 6 o'clock and as it happens on 5AA.
My Living Outdoors. The people that build Adelaide's best decks, verandas and pergolas can also install quality outdoor blinds in a wide range of colours and styles, including motorised blinds. As you'd expect, My Living Outdoors only installed the best high-quality blinds made in Australia and made to last with long-term warranties and, of course, outstanding workmanship. And there's no hidden costs either. Enjoy the outdoors all year round with blinds from My Living Outdoors. Visit mylivingoutdoors.com.au.
SA's own and favourite
favourite milk company, FIVEAA Milk Company, is giving you the chance to win a $4,000 Phil Hoffman travel voucher. Take home our limited edition Christmas products and get creative. Take a pic of them under your Christmas tree as a Chrissy decoration. Anything you can think of, then share your pics on Facebook or Instagram and tag FIVEAA Milk Company and Phil Hoffman Travel. You could win a $4,000 travel voucher. T's and C's apply. See website for details.
Pulling away from the dealership is just the start with Hyundai. Imagine convenience and transparency with online service booking and upfront pricing. Imagine 12 months of our premium roadside support plan every time you complete a scheduled service with us. Imagine driving unlimited kilometres and still being under warranty 5 years later. Imagine having a lifetime of care with Hyundai iCare. T's and C's apply. Elements of iCare are limited in duration. Visit hyundai.com.au/iCare. Imagine that. Hyundai.
Who can fix the shower?
Service today.
Who can fix the power?
Service today.
Yes, we can, is what we say at Service Today.
From emergency plumbing to electrical and heating and cooling, no matter what size job you need, at Service Today the answer will always be yes we can. It's Service Today guaranteed or it's free.
Can you fix the shower?
Yes we can.
Can you fix the power?
Yes we can.
Yes, we can, is what we say at Service Today.
Look out for our bright yellow trucks.
When I feel strong, I feel like dancing.
When we feel strong, we feel like dancing.
Join the Wiggles and World Vision in bringing hope and joy to children around the world by sponsoring a child this Christmas. Your support can make them feel strong and proud through improved access to food and education. Sponsor a child today. Search World Vision.
I feel like dancing around the world.
Scraped your caravan? Walker Crash Repairs, an RAA-approved caravan crash repairer.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 25 minutes to 6. Still lots of calls and texts to get to. We're loving your interaction. 8223 0000. Time to talk some cricket with one of our pals, Parafield Airport Liquor, home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Life's better with your pals. Australia, big winners yesterday at the Adelaide Oval.
That's it. Great catch, Kerry. The Aussies have wrapped it up. They win this test and they win the series 2-0.
Yeah, smash the West Indies. Our special guest is an Australian great, Merv the Swerve Hughes. Mervy, welcome.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are we?
Yeah, good. How bad were they? Honestly, how bad were they?
Yeah, combination, wasn't it? West Indies not being great, but the performance of the Australians, and I'll probably look at the positive, is that even without an input from Steve Smith in that first innings, Marnus Labuschagne amongst the runs again, Travis Head, South Australian own Travis Head, was fantastic and was unlucky to be run out. But they were just clinical about it, the Australians. And what we saw with the bowling when the Australians got the bowl is that Nessa and Boland attacked the stumps, which is something that the West Indies bowlers didn't do. And they look a little bit disjointed, the West Indies, where the Australian team look very united and they're going to have to be coming up against a pretty strong bowling attack from South Africa in the next couple of test matches.
Yeah. Merv, I read this stat, and, we were all having a crack at the West Indies. In the last 10 years, only India and South Africa have beaten us on our home soil. And in that time, England's played 15 tests, lost 13 of them and drawn 2. So it's hard to beat Australia here, Merv.
Very hard to beat. I reckon the big thing is that it's like football. When you're at home, you're very, very hard to beat. And when you play away, it gets a little bit harder. And when there's that 50-50 competition, I suppose, that game that you look at and you think 50-50, and everyone that does the footy tipping and that, most people tip with their hearts. But if you tip with your head, if it's a 50-50 contest, you're always back to home team, yes, don't you? And the Australians in Australia do it really well. And probably why South Africa go well here and we go well in South Africa is that the conditions are very similar. So we're on about the same board, just below the equator. And when we get to Perth, when we get to Adelaide, Melbourne, and even Brisbane sort of reminds me a little bit of Joburg. So when you get those conditions that are pretty relevant to what you play in your own country, it makes it a little bit easier. But certainly the South Africans are going to be very tough to beat. Their bowling's very strong, bit of a question mark over their batting. They're very talented, but very inexperienced, where our bowling attack is pretty good.
Merv, just back on the West Indies, a lot of us who grew up watching them dominate world cricket for 20 years, we're almost sort of upset and concerned at what we've seen. Is it a case that they just haven't got their best possible playing because they're in other formats?
Yes, I think it's to do with the economy in the West Indies too, to be honest. But
Okay.
they really haven't got the money to pay the players, so the players look elsewhere to make a living. And when you think about Chris Gale and Bravo and D-Russ and all these blokes that are very, very good cricketers, they're really going outside the West Indian structure to make the money. So that they're coming over the Big Bash, they're going to the IPL, they're going to all the leagues around the world where they're doing that because the money isn't there. And I've given this really good thought over a couple of years, and you think for cricket to get up and going again, you can't just have England, India and Australia dominating. You need the West Indies to be strong. So if the ICC formed a bit of a salary cap where the money's pooled from all around the world and the better players are getting similar money, I think that may help the situation, but I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Yeah, that is sad. Now, the West Indies, I believe, are back next year. Is that a COVID, catch-up? Why is that happening?
I'm not sure, to be honest. There's two tests. I think it has something to do with basically you're supposed to play everyone on a 3-test 4-year rotation home or 5-year rotation home and away.
Right.
So the big thing with that, it's only 2 tests here because of the 2020 World Cup. We didn't really have that much time, but they're coming back for 2 tests next year, and fingers crossed, you hope they'll improve. But like I said, they just look disjointed. Like the Australian teams go out and they play for each other. They play a really good brand of team cricket, and even in the second innings, 6 for 199 in real quick time. The Australians weren't worried about their averages; they were just worried about where the team was at. So it's a really good environment at the moment. And the West Indies, to just look on and watch them, it's as though they don't give a stuff about the team and they're just there for themselves. They drop a catch or they bowl a bad over. There doesn't seem to be that disappointment. It's just, who really cares? So that's a really disappointing factor that I sort of picked up just watching it from afar. But yeah, it was pretty hard cricket to watch while the Australians were dominant. It's hard as an Australian past player to say this. I almost felt sorry for the West Indies.
Bay 13's going berserk. The chant goes up. Big Merv in the swerve. You kick off the sight screen. You come thundering in, and Ian Healy's standing up at the stumps, Merv.
So it's the conditions, isn't it? And you know that Nessa is going to be bowling off stump, just outside off stump. He doesn't really bowl too many short balls. He doesn't bowl too many balls down the leg side. Mate, he's bowling up around the mid 130. So for Carey to do that and take 2 catches off the bowling standing up the stumps, absolutely fantastic keeping. And what they're trying to do there, I think, is because the West Indies look very comfortable with the length of the ball, they may have been edging a bit forward, and Carey just went up to the stumps to keep them in their crease. And gets a couple of nicks. That first one, a little bit lucky, wasn't it?
Yep.
A thickies edge off the shoulder, but good enough to juggle it and control it. But second catch was just clinical.
Hazelwood's been ruled out again. Paddy will be back. We play South Africa Saturday. Who are you dropping, Nisa or Boland?
Oh, it's a toss of the coin, isn't it? And the big thing about that is I've said it 100 times, and I've probably said it a few times on this show, and your listeners will be just sick of hearing it, but it's not the players you've got in the team that make a good team. It's the players that can't get a game. So when you think at full strength, both Boland and Nessa miss out. And last year against England, we had Pat Cummins go down with COVID, and we had the injury to Hazelwood, Jai Richardson and Nessa come in.
Yep.
They both pull up a little bit sore. Pat Cummins comes back in for the Melbourne Test, and Scotty Boland comes in. So we've got depth. It's absolutely fantastic. And from a batting perspective, there's a few guys doing okay in Shield cricket. So, I reckon the batting lineup's just about set for a little while, and certainly against the South Africans. But going forward, there's a few blokes putting their hands up, but I'd like to see them just score a few more runs and probably be a little bit more consistent. But of the Australians, yeah, plenty to pick from, and especially in the bowling stock. So when we say that Cummins missed out and Hazelwood missed out, I don't think anyone bat an eyelid, because we saw what happened against England last year, and we're pretty comfortable with Messer and Scotty Boland coming in.
I thought you might have said Boland because he's a Victorian, Merv.
Yeah, mate, it's going to be an interesting one next week up in Brisbane, as you said. One of them's got to go. You would think Boland would stay in because of the record that he had, but the argument would be Messer's a Queenslander. Yeah. So do you take the hometown boy and give him an opportunity? Because both bowl very similar, don't they? The DNA is very much the same. They bowl good length around, off stump, just hit the seam, nibble the ball around, and they ask questions of the batsman. So basically, if I was Scotty Boland, I'd be disappointed if I missed out, but understanding that it is Nessa's home ground.
Yeah. He was born in South Africa, I think, Nessa, wasn't he? I think he's a South African. Hey, what about Lance Morris? When are you going to punt him? The wild man, the wild thing, the new wild thing.
Well, when he got added to the squad, I actually thought that Mitch Starc may have been carrying a bit of an injury, because Mitch Starc's our most, I suppose he's a bit of the enforcer, isn't he? Yep. He's our most aggressive bowler. He's at the batsman. He doesn't bowl too many short balls though, because he's looking for the ball to swing. But he's our quickest bowler. He's a left armer. So what the Australian selectors have done probably over the last 20 years, even going back further than that, is they pick their best three bowlers and their most aggressive. And you could argue that Stark's in the best three, but he's also the most aggressive. So you've got Hazelwood Cummins to do the work. You've got Lyon, that was absolutely fantastic in that first inning. So if Stark gets injured, I'm tipping Morris would be right in that side. And like you said, you dubbed him beautifully, the wild thing. I've seen little bits of him just on replays, and I haven't seen him bowl live yet, but he has got some pace and he has got some aggression. So, again, the depth that the Australian cricket have got and the choices that the selectors have got, they are absolutely spoiled.
Release the beast. Hey, mate, how have you seen the Cricket Australia Davey Warner saga?
Yeah, it's dragging on a little bit. Personally, listen, I love Davey Warner. He's been very good for a long time. Yes, he made a mistake, but I think what we're doing is focusing on that. And now what's happened is that after 5 years, the argument is should he be allowed to captain? Now, my personal view is no, is that the people in charge at the time handed down a finding and a suspension to fit what the crime was. And 5 years on, when the dust has settled, we tend to forget now. There's a reason there were very serious fines and suspensions handed down, and that was to stop Australian players in the future ever thinking about crossing a line. Now, if that's overturned, what are you saying to future players, mate? It's all right to stuff up. It's all right to cross the line. We're going to forgive you. Listen, Davey Warner, for mine, doesn't need to be named captain or vice captain to have a leadership role. He's one of the senior players in the Australian team. If he goes back to Thunder and plays there, or goes back to New South Wales and plays there, he's a leading player without being a captain. So, he is a team leader. He's an experienced player. But for mine, I wouldn't overturn the decision that was made 5 years ago.
Thanks for that, Merv. Hey, mate, before we let you go, I have a memory of you, and I need you to confirm or deny. I
was young, I needed the money.
Well, it's very close to that, but I was just thinking the difference between, some people being out-and-out idiots, but also the larrikin, the Aussie larrikin, which you were well and truly one of those. I was playing a game for Port Adelaide at Alberton Oval, and I think late 80s or early 90s, and the whisper started going around on the Oval, Merv Hughes is here. And at half time, it was confirmed because you hopped the fence and started having a couple of kicks on the Oval. Do you remember being at Alberton Oval?
Yeah, well, I'm tipping you would have been playing with Jeff Parker at the time.
Yes,
Parks. So Parksy was a former Victorian player. playing footy for Essendon, then got picked up by Port Adelaide, and I would have been over there on a cricket trip. So I would have been early in your footy season.
There you go.
And we used to go down. So we used to have a look around at the games that were playing, and we saw that Port Adelaide were playing. I said, boys, Parks is playing for Port Adelaide. I wouldn't mind going down and have a look at that. So probably had about 15, 20 of us go down and have a look at the footy. But, your memory is very good. We were definitely there on that particular day.
Fantastic, mate. That's what I call a character, and a larrikin.
That is a character.
Mate, you're one of our pals as well, Merv.
Well done, Merv.
We're gonna look after you with a nice South Australian red if you're okay with that.
Oh, mate, that would be absolutely magnificent. Now, to you guys and your listeners, it's that time of year, isn't it? Have a very safe and happy Christmas and New Year, and hopefully you'll be kind enough to give us a call next year.
No,
love you,
well
mate.
done. Merv
Thanks,
Hughes
buddy.
is an absolute ripper. Powerful Airport Liquor Store, home of the harder to find wines, beers and spirits. Life's better with your pals. Bought us Merv Hughes. We'll get him a nice Shiraz.
Yes.
Maybe a carton of porrit life.
Yeah.
You were down there.
Why not?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Why not?
I'll throw it in.
Just remind me
Merv
of
the
Alberta.
Swerve.
What a fantastic man to have on the show. Well, thanks to Pals. Let's check your traffic quickly. Buying Mitsubishi or getting a car service. Head in for the all-new Wavell Mitsubishi or Southern Mitsubishi.
At Elizabeth Park at a Carvey Tree, Main North Road at Ifold Road. Gilman got a crash on the Port River Expressway near the Eastern Parade exit as you're heading outbound. Pretty heavy delays at the moment there too. Black Forest, level crossing, fault causing for headaches. East Avenue at Canterbury Terrace. And we're getting quite busy Anzac Highway at Marion Road. Look out for cameras at Cliff Street, Glengarry and Finnis Street at Marion. Say yeah, nah to Qatar and yes to Sportsbet, the easiest place to bet this World Cup. Download the Sportsbet app today. Gamble responsibly, 1-800-858-858. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sport Show.
Buying, selling, leasing, renting. When it comes to real estate, the right advice can save you thousands. Every Wednesday afternoon from 2 o'clock, the expert team from Toop and Toop join us for Real Estate Radio. We'll get the right advice from Adelaide's most awarded real estate firm, and for some individual advice, you can call the Real Estate Lounge after the show from 2:30 to 3 p.m. So join the expert team from Toop and Toop every Wednesday afternoon from 2 on 1395 Adelaide's 5AA.
What's a Walco family look like? Well, it looks like us. Mum, Dad, kid or two, and Paul. Paul loves her Walco solar blanket. Paul loves her Walco roller. And we all love Walco. Walco is the only pool blankie and roller manufacturer in Adelaide. They're also the only guys that make their materials here. Nothing imported. Walco, making a real splash in SA. Walco.com.au.
There's Millionaires Mix, Triple Choc Heaven and Macadamia Magnifique. Merry Christmas, folks. I'm Brett Charlesworth and they're just 3 of over 100 mouth-watering delights we make for you at Charlesworth Nuts. This year, more than ever, you need to spoil yourself and your guests with the very best and the absolute freshest. And when it comes to nuts, that means Charlesworth. I guarantee you will taste the amazing difference that 80 years of experience brings. 11 family-owned stores or shop online. Why Charlesworth? Because fresh nuts taste better.
Eight minutes to 6 now. If you ping a windscreen or some clown breaks your door glass or back window, call Complete Windscreens 8269 4444, Timmy. Ingrain that in your head. 8269 4444.
8269 4444.
Good boy, good boy. We wholesale our glass, so the price, the service and quality is best in market. Now, a lot of people claim that,
Yep.
but I guarantee you we are.
8269 4444.
Good on
Come
you.
well.
For over 40 years, the Dean brothers, their rippers, Hayden and Lindsay, have been looking after SA motorists. It's the only SA family-owned auto glass company in SA. Why would you not buy SA and look after SA?
Of course you would.
Why would you not? Now, if you ping your glass, you can tell your insurer, because you can pick your insurer of choice.
That's right.
I want to use
8269 4444.
Complete Windscreen. So do it. Give them a call. They will look after you. Yep, you can do it. Complete Windscreens. You deserve the best, and so does your brum brum. CompleteWindscreens.com.au. I might answer the phone if you ring.
8269 4444.
This is your time to experience the best of life in your new luxury apartment. Meticulously crafted from the ground up. Choose from a range of spacious 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartments at Adelaide's most sought-after address, 88 O'Connell. Just a short walk to the CBD with picturesque views across the city, hills or coastline. Enjoy the convenience of a ground floor marketplace with bar and dining, pools and gymnasium. Apartments are selling fast. Visit 88o'connell.com.
Hi, I'm Mitch McCarron, captain of the Adelaide 36ers. This season, we're partnering with the Hospital Research Foundation to promote better health and well-being in the community. Basketball is a high-pressure game, and you need your focus. Without a good night's sleep, that won't come easy. Aim for 8 hours of quality sleep each night and watch how your memory, focus, and attention improve the next day. A healthy living tip from the Adelaide 36ers and the Hospital Research Foundation Group. Together, fight.
The clock's ticking on Specsavers Health Fund offer. You can get a massive 30% off lens options. But hurry, offer ends December 31. Available with all health funds. Conditions apply. Should have gone to Specsavers.
Scraped your caravan? Your insurance should cover that. Speak to Walker Crash Repairs and let them fix it.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
We've got to start getting real, guys, and if we want this sport to be the best that it can be, then let's start to level with the fans. At least if you're going to make the cash grab for, what's reported to be an 8-figure sum, tell us. Say, guys, you know what? We've done this in the short term. We've had to do it for financial reasons. We are struggling at the moment. We're looking to build our league. There's no PR spin on this, and that's what I think is the most insulting part.
Yes, the A-League has decided to have the next 3 grand finals in New South Wales.
What a joke.
And we've got Adam Peacock from Code Sports on the line. Adam, you just heard Lucy Zellick there having a red-hot crack. I couldn't see any other reason other than perhaps the money for doing this.
It's hard to look past that point. And look, all codes need the money. All codes now, given that it seems state governments are climbing over each other to try and attract events using taxpayer money, and that to me is a bit of the lost story in all of this today. The reaction has been pointed at the APL, who run the A-League, and that's completely understandable. You get that, and they deserve all the reaction. But I'm just a bit mystified how we got to this point where basically state governments have become businesses, and it's on for young and old with taxpayer money. But anyway, that's by the by. It's a bin fire of a reaction from all the fans, and I've yet to see a fan reaction apart from the personal stuff. And let's say leave all that out when they're attacking players and attacking the people who have made the decision on a personal level and calling them pretty average names. I'm yet to see many fans actually say, "Oh, you know what? I can see the value in this." So. He thinks that they just totally misread what the action would be.
And that's probably handling the fallout now. That's the battle, is actually trying to justify why you did it, other than just doing what Lucy said, put your hand up and say, took the money.
Yeah. Look, the concept, let's have a Super Bowl type event in a city. Maybe. Is the A-League mature enough with enough travelling fans that they're going to make it like a Super Bowl, like an event where everything kind of falls over out the way of it because it's that big? I'm not sure we're there yet. Hopefully one day we are there with an A-League Grand Final. I'm sure A-League organisers look at the festival that is the AFL Grand Final and how well Melbourne does that and think, one day we'd love something like that. And it is attainable, but I did love, and I've said it a few times today, 2 of my favourite grand finals of all time. Well, 2 are in Brisbane, the 2 ones that Ange Postecoglou won with Brisbane Roar, and the other one was down with you guys in 2015, 2016 at Adelaide Oval. It's a magnificent day.
Yeah.
Now, we'll say out of that, both times, that it wasn't capitalised on in those cities. Adelaide United reverted to just playing out of High Marsh and having the fan base that it did. Corporate support didn't fall from trees. Same with Brisbane Roar. In fact, Brisbane Roar regressed. Adelaide United have done quite well as a club to sustain itself through some pretty difficult financial periods. But, this feels like a not great decision, poorly managed, and poorly reacted to from the administration and the justification of it as well. It's it's a head scratcher.
And we're hard up against the 6 o'clock news. It's probably more of a statement. You can comment on the back of it. But I think it's a bit of a mates rates deal on this, the A-League. Did they go to tender? Because we got a premier here that would have had a fair crack at it. Perth would have had a fair crack at it. Did it just go to Sydney? I understand 1 year, but 3 years? There's no business sense to this, Adam.
Yeah, well, from my understanding, the New South Wales government went to them and said 10 or up to 10 years, and the APL said, nah, too much. Let's bring it back to 3. But the price was such that it was of a value, and it's north of 8 figures, north of $10 million, that they went, well, you can have it, but if you go to tender with it, it's off the table. Okay. So where's your negotiating power if that deal's off the table? I'm not sure. It was a tough one that the New South Wales government threw at them, but at the announcement today, the New South Wales government didn't want to say how much they paid. So I have a bit of a problem with that as a taxpayer as well. I think there should be a bit more disclosure about how much these events are being siphoned off for. I know it brings money into the economy, but it's a little uneasy.
Yeah.
Hey, Adam, just before you go, who was the most upset? England, Portugal, Netherlands or Brazil?
Biggest upset, Brazil.
Yeah.
That was... I did not see that coming. I thought they were clear favourites. They had the best attacking threat, but they stuffed it up for themselves 1-0 up, and they leave themselves open to be cut apart in transition like Croatia did in the 117th minute. Yeah. England, France, that was worthy of a final in terms of the quality of two teams. It's just a shame they played in the quarterfinal, but someone had to lose, and it was a game to fine margins. And I reckon Croatia are a chance of knocking over Argentina in the semi-final. I think France gets through, but I reckon the Croats are. I don't know. They're going to make things difficult for Leo Messi and co.
Yeah, well done, Adam.
Brilliant,
Thanks
mate.
for that. Brazil, 21 shots to 9, 11 shots on target to 1, 9 crosses to 3. They should have won with their leg in the air. Adam Peacock, our guest.
Excellent breakdown of what has happened in the A-League and how all the fans are responding at the moment with a fair bit of anger across the country. Time for the 6 o'clock news. On the other side, we're going to talk some local stuff. The Norwood Redlegs and the Norwood Flames Basketball Club are coming together to make something special out there. We'll talk about that next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Rather cloudy tonight, a low of 12. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Michaela Kamarek. Police have made an urgent plea for witnesses following a fatal shooting at Edwardstown. A 41-year-old man was shot and left to die on Dunorlan Road last night. Major crime detectives say he was known to police and they believe he was shot by someone he knew. Detective Inspector Mark Muckenchurn says they are searching for anyone who may have travelled down Dunorlan Road between 8:30 and 9:30 last night.
We have gathered some CCTV that captures 3 cars that are travelling east, and we know those vehicles travel past where our deceased was killed and may well have witnessed the incident or at least seen some people in the street at about that time.
A high school student has been rescued from Adelaide Zoo's giant panda enclosure today after entering to retrieve a dropped mobile phone. Keepers quickly saved the visitor from the exhibit. Zoo CEO Elaine Benstead says the male student escaped without serious injuries.
He did report some tingling in his fingers because he did touch the hot wire, but pleased to say it appears nothing more than that. The panda is absolutely fine and slept through all of the excitement.
Opposition leader Peter Dutton says Labor's energy plan is a witch's brew of a disaster and will hurt investment and jobs in the sector. The federal government is planning to legislate price caps on gas and coal and offer subsidies on electricity bills. The year-long measures are expected to save households and small businesses more than $200. Mr Dutton says it's a short-term fix that will have long-term consequences.
They've introduced this figure now of $230, but they can't explain how they've arrived at that figure, and they're taking gas out of the system, not putting more in, which is going to drive prices up. We're not supporting that sort of witch's brew of disaster.
Adelaide Airport has added more security staff and opened an additional security lane ahead of the festive season. The airport's expecting more than 500,000 passengers to travel through the terminal during the peak Christmas and New Year period. Adelaide Airport's Dermot O'Neill says passengers also need to do their bit by getting there early and being prepared.
We're seeing a lot of people who are travelling for the first Christmas in a few years, and it is terrific to see our airports full, people excited, going out on holidays and seeing their family and friends again.
There's concern Australia could be facing a major shortage of certain pharmaceuticals, with reports common drugs like antibiotics are in short supply. It's resulted in some parents having to visit multiple pharmacies to track down medication for their sick children. Infectious diseases expert Professor Peter Collignon says the government needs to do more.
I think the legislation that effectively gives, in my view, too much monopoly power to the drug companies needs to be modified. We need to make it more readily available to be able to import quality drugs from overseas that are approved in reasonable markets.
Now turning to 5AA sport, an Australian captain, Pat Cummins, insists he's on track to play in the first test against South Africa. Cummins missed the second test against the West Indies due to a quad injury, but he's told reporters he should be good to go at the Gabba.
Yeah, should be right. Yeah. What, feeling okay? Feels good. Yeah, all on track.
What do you need to do, Pat? Anything else?
Not really, just normal prep in Brisbane, so yeah, probably have one more bowl and then good to go.
Collingwood's longest-serving captain, Scott Pendlebury, has stepped down ahead of the 2023 AFL season, and tennis's John Newcombe Medal will be awarded tonight in Melbourne. 7 players, including Ash Barty, Alex de Minaur and Nick Kyrgios, are nominated for the award. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Elizabeth Park at a Carvey Tree, Main North Road at Ifold Road. Gilman got a crash there. Port River Expressway near the Eastern Parade exit as you're heading up, and heavy delays. At Old Noongar got a crash. Robinson Road at Victor Harbour Road. Heavy delays as you're heading towards McLaren Vale. And look out for cameras on the drive home today. The Parade, Kensington Park and Old Blair Road at Mitcham. It's Christmas time in Rundle Mall. Explore Adelaide's biggest and best range of gifts with all of your favourite stores in one place. Shop today till 5 p.m. in Rundle Mall. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 12. A possible shower tomorrow, 19. Cloudy on Wednesday, 19. And cloudy for Thursday and a top of 21. Right now it's 18 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
A man gunned down in an Edwardstown street. Are baby terrorists frightening guilty pleas from a southern suburbs boy? Hospitals issue a Christmas warning about lithium batteries. The new app swinging South Aussies into action to help with cardiac arrest. And bank your unspent extras, the revolutionary new health insurance. I'm Will McDonald. See the full story on 9 News happening now.
Battling high chlorine when you take your pool blanket off? Rather than trapping excess chlorine that concentrates to higher than intended levels, Sunline Australia's innovative AquaVent pool blanket allows for maximum heat gain and retention, while letting excess harmful chlorine escape. Award-winning AquaVent, the world's only breathable solar pool blanket, is proudly Australian-made for creating a healthier swimming environment. Upgrade to an AquaVent today. Visit sunlineaustralia.com.au.
A good road trip needs an adventure and peace of mind. One thing it doesn't need? To be caught out far from home without a plan. Introducing the Hyundai Premium Roadside Support Plan. Imagine 12 months of care on the road every time you complete a service with us. Imagine 24/7 Australia-wide support. Think flat tyre repair, accommodation and much more. Open road, clear mind. T's and C's apply. Visit Hyundai.com.au. Imagine that. Hyundai.
You simply can't imagine how it would feel to hear a doctor say, your child has a terminal genetic illness. Renee has heard those devastating words 3 times. Her 3 beautiful young kids may never see their 20th birthdays. Childhood dementia causes 90 deaths every year in Australia. It's a number similar to cancer. Little Heroes Foundation, in their support of sick kids, is right behind Renee and other families like hers. You can donate, volunteer and help fundraise by visiting littleheroesfoundation.com.au.
Give the gift of live music this Christmas with tickets to the Red Hot Summer Tour 2023, starring Paul Kelly, Bernard Fanning, and Missy Higgins. Plus Mark
Mark Seymour, Vicar and Linda, Ian Moss and Troy Casadale at the magnificent Sattlersfield in the Barossa, January 22. It's the ultimate Christmas gift. For tickets, go to redhotsummertour.com.au.
That's a painful noise no one wants to hear. A gum tree branch damaging your caravan. If an accident like this does happen, speak to Walker Crash Repairs and get it fixed quick. They are the experts in caravan repairs. Scrapes, dents, holes, and that little incident reversing the van that no one else needs to know about. Walker Crash Repairs, for easy insurance repairs on your caravan. Get it fixed right with Walker Crash Repairs, your RAA approved caravan crash repairer.
I'm Kathy Nagel, Chief Executive of Western Hospital Henley Beach. Cancer diagnosis is a traumatic and emotional life event, but we are here to help. Western Hospital offers a wide range of cancer services to those in the western suburbs and beyond. We pride ourselves on assisting our community for the past 25 years in the fight against cancer within our friendly chemotherapy unit. Experienced nursing staff are the cornerstone when providing outstanding care. Visit westernhospital.com.au.
Walker Crash Repairs, for easy insurance repairs on your caravan. Get it fixed right with Walker Crash Repairs.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
8 minutes after 6, we'll get to your calls and texts very shortly. And our next guest with a groundbreaking partnership for the Norwood Footy and Basketball clubs. Just before we do, though, interesting to hear with the tickets going on sale for general public and all members this afternoon for the Gather Round here in South Australia, hearing the Mount Barker game between Brisbane and North Melbourne is sold out.
Wow.
It's only been on sale for general public for just over an hour, so quite incredible.
Wow.
So it's worked already then.
It has. It certainly has.
Beautiful.
So exciting times as tickets are out there now to get.
What would that be, 6,000 tickets?
Probably. They said 8,000 capacity, so I'd say about 8.
Well, even 8,000 at
Awesome.
a ground like that is absolutely
well played.
awesome. Well done. Well, Redlegs have partnered with the Flames. I'd say two iconic sporting brands. My Norwood 97 Premiership teammates, now GM of commercial ops for the Norwood Footy Club. He joins us now. Stick, welcome.
G'day, Rowey. How are you?
Now, tell us about this partnership. This looks, on the surface, as being a ripper.
It's a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess we, at Norwood, we're very community-minded, and we look to see, how we can invest back in our community. In fact, I'm actually up at Port Lincoln at the moment on the EP, which is our regional zone, and meeting with council and other businesses and see how we can do more partnerships up here. But from a Norwood Flames perspective, it became pretty apparent to us a few years ago that we obviously share the same name, we share the same colours, we share the same geographic region in metropolitan Adelaide. In fact, if you look at our junior pathways program, we've got kids that are at the Flames, and they've got kids that are at, part of the Norwood pathways underage development program. So there's so much synergy, and from a brand point of view, it just made sense. And so we started chatting with them a few years ago, and unfortunately, COVID probably stalled things for a while, but we've now formed a partnership that's going to see Norwood Redlegs and the Norwood Flames work together from a commercial point of view, membership point of view, sponsorship point of view, and basically a community point of view.
Okay. So explain partnership a bit more. Like, people are going, the Crows, they actually purchased the Adelaide Giants. They were going to brand them. The 36ers have been bandied around as being joining with the Crows. And, it's, I don't know whether you call it a takeover or whatnot. This is more just shared resources both ways, from you to the Flames and Flames to you.
Yeah, that's right, Rowey. I mean, in sort of layman's terms, we'll be sponsoring the Norwood Flames Basketball Club, so we'll invest in their club from a cash sponsorship point of view,
okay,
as well as sharing facilities and giving them some facilities to use at Norwood Oval. And, we'll encourage our partners and our sponsors to get behind this partnership. So I've already got a number of our partners who are interested in, extending their sponsorship of Norwood into the Norwood Flames Basketball Club, because they're 10,000 kids playing across all their competitions. There are 4,500 families, and they've got over 600 teams across all the school and domestic competitions. Of course, they go all the way to NBL 1, which is the highest level of basketball in the state. So they're a massive marketplace. And, as a SANFL club, we've got to look for opportunities to broaden our marketplace. And this is a great opportunity to partner, sponsor with the fourth largest basketball club in Australia, which is amazing. And to help them commercially, do merchandise better, do sponsorship better. And at the same time, look for opportunities for Norwood Football Club to grow our own marketplace and the reach for our sponsors. So it's a mutually beneficial arrangement. It's different. I don't think there's been any football club that I know of that sponsored a basketball club, but this is not a sort of fly by the sort of seat sort of arrangement. We've been working this for 12 months, and behind it is some genuine strategy, and we think there'll be a lot of benefit for both our clubs.
Dale, I was just having a look. The 67 Norwood Flames junior and senior teams, that is a lot of people. Is there an opportunity to share each other's databases?
Well, there is. It's a bit difficult under current privacy laws, in the sense that you can't just sort of share data without permission from the person on that database.
Yeah, because you'll remain two separate entities, is that right?
We will, yeah. So we'll operate, from a database marketing point of view. We'll absolutely be two separate entities. We have to be under privacy laws, but what we will do over time is we'll start to bring out co-branded merchandise, Norwood red and blue, because that works for both of us.
Yep.
We'll start to, introduce our partners to each other. We'll certainly introduce Norwood Redlegs sponsors and partners to the Norwood Flames community. And as those things sort of take hold, true merging of our clubs will happen, and we'll definitely leverage those opportunities where, we might have people on our database that are Norwood Flames members, Norwood Redlegs members, and we know that, and we can both co-market to those people. I mean, I guess initially from a Redlegs point of view, it's all about community. I mean, this is a amateur club with 3 or 4 full-time staff, a lot of volunteers, a lot of people giving up their Saturdays and weekends for the love of basketball. And we wanted to invest back in the community. Seriously, as a football club, we feel that it's important that we do that, and we continue to connect with the community. And, we're partnering with a basketball club, and we're looking at other community clubs in our region, in metropolitan Adelaide, as well as up here on the EP. How can we actually help them get better, and how can we partner with them? I'm meeting with Tunarama up here on the EP tomorrow, which is a massive festival on the EP, and we want to get involved, and we want to, as I said, invest in the communities that we operate in.
Well done, Stick. Great work, mate. Well done. Norwood 97 Premiership teammate of mine, GM of Commerce and Operations there, partnering the Norwood Football Club with the Flames.
Yeah, that was Dale Fleming, for those that don't know who Stick is. Let's quickly move over to the Flames.
A bit in that one, why not?
Yeah. We've got Will Smith on the line, General Manager of the Norwood Flames, and welcome, Will. How exciting is this partnership for you guys? And I've had a little sneak peek at where you guys play out of the Arc there. Wow, what an impressive facility.
Yes, like I think Dale was talking about, there's a lot of exciting opportunities both off and off the playing field, on and off, sorry. And yeah, the Arc is one of the, premier sort of facilities going around the state. It's got, pools, 5-court facility, there's a gym, function rooms, all the rest of it. It's really an amazing place, and yeah, something we're looking forward to expanding with Norwood Redlegs in the future.
The other thing I was looking at, the swimming pool facilities are phenomenal. Have the Norwood players used that previously, and will that be something you can really introduce?
It's something that's been on a bit of an ad hoc nature previously. We definitely want to try and use more of the facilities locally. Again, it's a presence of our home ground and where we play, but obviously being a council-run facility, we have to share it with public and different user groups, so it's not something we can get exclusive access as much as we would like, but it sort of is what it is in this current day and age.
Yeah, well, it's a terrific one. You're not going to have to take over the Redlegs logo, eh? You can remain independent, as Dale said. This is just a partnership. It's not an acquisition, or you're not planning down the track that stage 2 is this?
No, well, as far as I understand, like, no one owns our club. It's a community-owned club and run club. So, yeah, there's no owners or ownership group of the Flames. So there's nothing to purchase as such, as it's currently, I guess, legally created. So, yeah, no, it's something that we're just going to partner together. We sort of looked at it like traditionally football and basketball's had this, I guess you might call it a Cold War type of mentality of, you know, basketball feels like football steals their players. And, of course, there's been a lot who carry over because I think the skills transfer so closely. And we sort of like to think in an innovative and different way and thinking, why, instead of having this kind of Cold War mentality, why don't we work together and join together and actually go in the same direction rather than sort of butting heads, whether it be literally or just, like I said, you know, as an assumed type of attitude.
Okay, and how's the season going so far? You into it?
We start March 25 is when our game 1 kicks off. So we're at a point now where our pre-season really goes into full swing come first week of January. We're at a point now where we're trying to finalise our rosters, sign players, and just get all of our ducks in a row as such. Okay. Doing all our planning and that kind of thing and trying to get our imports and marquee players locked away.
Okay, so it runs the same time as the sample season? Mm-hmm.
Yes, very, very close. And again, that was part of the synergy that we thought worked really well for our fan base, who can go and see both games over a weekend.
Fantastic. Well, Will, thanks for that. I loved you in I Am Legend. It was probably my favourite.
Well, I haven't got COVID yet, so I think it's still the case for me.
You know what? Why don't you slap him?
Why?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, how many times do you get that? It's very obvious, Will.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger and growing up, it was actually good because Will Smith's such a positive, sort of cool character. Yeah. But the last year, that's changed where it's kind of like, yeah, no, he's not so cool anymore. He's a bit crazy.
Yeah, well, where was he? He was at some awards night. And he said, don't mention my wife.
Oscars, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Oscars, the Academy Awards, only the awards.
I must admit, I liked you in Ali too. That was pretty... Hey, Will, great partnership, mate. Well done. You're with a fantastic club. You share the great colours with the two, and I know it'll be a winner moving forward with Dale Fleming and yourself. Well done, mate. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for having us. It's really exciting times to see what happens in the future.
Yeah, isn't that great? So they can morph into whatever they want it to morph into. But why would you not share resources? Why would you not invest back into your community? And I think that's fantastic.
Great initiative. Well played.
Amazes me there aren't more of that happening around town.
I think this might be the model.
Yeah, I think there might be more of that to come, absolutely. 20 after 6, we'll take some of your calls next. First, we'll check the traffic, though. A little bit happening on your roads. Buying Mitsubishi or getting your car service, head for the all-new Wavell Mitsubishi or Southern Mitsubishi.
At Elizabeth Park at Carvey Tree, Main North Road at Ifold Road. Gilman, got a crash there. Port River Expressway near the Eastern Parade exit as you're heading up, and heavy delays. At Old Noongar, got a crash. Robinson Road at Victor Harbour Road, heavy delays as you're heading towards McLaren Vale. And look out for cameras on the drive home today, the Parade, Kensington Park and Old Blair Road at Mitcham. It's Christmas time in Rundle Mall. Explore Adelaide's biggest and best range of gifts with all of your favourite stores in one place. Shop today till 5 p.m. in Rundle Mall. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. Join us every Friday just after 3 p.m. when renowned Adelaide chef Chris Jarmer joins Jade Robran for the 5AA Food and Wine Show. Thanks to Smeg, seamlessly pairing performance with design. Taste the difference with Smeg and Sip and Save. They have the perfect partner for every dish.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles is the only tile company in Australia to offer a lifetime guarantee on all our tiles. Yes, all National Tiles come with our exclusive lifetime guarantee. So don't risk it. Insist that your tiles are National Tiles to ensure you're covered by our exclusive lifetime guarantee. National Tiles, Australia's only lifetime guarantee tile company. Conditions apply.
Like shocks shooting through your body.
That's how some people describe their shingles pain. Shingles is caused by the reactivation of the chickenpox virus. While most people recover fully, up to 25% may experience long-term complications.
I had to cancel all my plans and struggled to work.
Up to 1 in 3 people risk developing shingles in their lifetime.
If you're 50 or over, don't let shingles affect your plans.
Talk to your doctor for more information. Individual symptoms may vary. Sponsored by GlaxoSmithKline Australia, Melbourne.
This is the BBC Radio News. There's been a murder at Adelaide's Her Majesty's Theatre. Someone is hiding something. A story, a scandal, a secret. Only one of them knows the answer.
Turn that thing off.
A murder?
The woman was strangled. It was horrible.
Are you sure you didn't see or hear anybody? One of you is a killer. It's all a lot of hooey, the whole thing.
Agatha Christie's masterpiece, The Mousetrap, celebrating a thrilling 70 years on the West End. Now at Her Majesty's Theatre from December. Don't just see it, solve it. Book at themousetrap.com.au.
You're off then?
Yes, dear.
The backyard needs a good trim with the ride-on mower.
Totally. The kids will be done shortly, so they need picking up from the oval.
Good plan. Why are you giving me the car keys?
You can't walk to the oval, silly. Oh, don't worry, the backyard will look fantastic by the time you get back. Mwah.
Okay, dear. But I get the ride-on next time?
We'll see. Probably not.
Stanford Mowers for ride-ons. 590 Main North Road, Jeps Cross. stanfordmowers.com.au.
What could change everything for you? For Jess, it was a unique spoon. For Ravi, a remarkable pair of glasses. And for Graham, a wheelchair with a difference. Items that gave Jess, Ravi and Graham more independence. All discovered at the store that changes everything. What will you find at Novita Tech, Australia's largest in-store assistive tech experience? Now open at Hindmarsh or shop online at novitatech.com.au.
Road trips, adventures, winding roads and long straights. All the good times we spend behind the wheel. It's important through all of them you stay protected. Mobile Synergy Fuels protects your engine from the first fill. Mobile Synergy Fuels. Engine protection sorted.
Scraped your caravan? Walker Crash Repairs, an RAA-approved caravan crash repairer.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sport Show.
24 minutes after 6, we're taking your calls and got your texts to read through before we get to our next guest.
Hello, Don.
Yes, Rowey and Timmy, I wish I was the CEO of this round.
Yeah.
I'd call it support your local grassroots football.
Yeah.
And I'd take the football in South Australia everywhere. I'd take it to the Riverland, the York Peninsula, Victor Harbour, the Adelaide Hills, the Barossa. We all started, I was born in 1960, we all started at grassroots. These boys would have played on them sort of ovals back in their under-8s and under-10s.
Yep.
Take it everywhere. Showcase South Australian football like Russell Ebert, Ellaway, Rashudo from the Riverland. You got Bernie Vince, the
York
Source,
Peninsula, yep.
Peninsula, you got Modric and Victor Harbour.
Yeah.
I reckon it's got nothing to do with the ovals. Wherever you play football, it's got nothing to do with the ovals. Sean Wren done his knee in at Footy Park.
Yeah.
Right? It's got nothing to do with the ovals. You can run into a goalpost on the MCG and break your leg or break your shoulder. And the facilities, well, we've all had a cold shower and a cold pie. If the boys couldn't put up with that for one night or one day and go back into the club rooms and support a side like Wallaroo, their town, or support, Berry, Renmark, or support down on Victor Harbour, you could have one of them clubs down there. It should be taken all over the state. I reckon it should. You can have one at Adelaide Oval, or two at Adelaide Oval, one at Lord, one at the Bay, and 5 around the state.
Don, great call, mate. I'm going to give away another $50 Powers voucher out near Panikin. You'll love that. Passionate, but he's right.
Loved it.
I think, honestly, it'll morph into it. I think we're just dunking our toes in the water round 5 next year.
Maybe
and then I reckon our state will say, hang on, we gave you over 10 mil. We're picking where you play it
Maybe
now.
a bit more consultation.
That's it, you big VFL head.
Let's go to Callum about the A-League. G'day, Callum.
How are you, boys?
All right.
Yeah, right you are.
How you feeling about it?
Oh, mate, honestly, I'll be honest. So there's a whole thing across the competition now with all the active support groups looking to boycott it.
Wow.
Wow.
So this weekend, the Melbourne Derby's coming up. So Melbourne City has their active group, Melbourne Victory has theirs, and they're planning to walk out. Fans are just not taking this. It's not the right thing to do by the competition. And the fact is that the promotional video, they're actually grabbing quotes from players, but misquoting it to suit their agenda.
Wow.
And that's the thing that I can't stand is that one of our local boys, Craig Goodwin, absolutely love the bloke to bits, but used one of his videos in the clip saying that he supports it.
Well,
he does.
He's made a
Exactly.
statement.
Yeah, exactly.
He ended up saying something about on the lines of Twitter that I might be in the video, but I don't support it. I'm a player and I'm also a fan. And the most valuable thing in football is the fans. I'm disappointed in this decision.
That's strong. That's what a leader does.
And the fact is that the league has gone to those sort of dirty tactics. It just says what it's all about, and it's so poor. As a football fan, and after the whole World Cup and everything, all the excitement, all of the build-up, to just have this happen, it's just, honestly, it's heartbreaking.
It's in your face. Callum, you know what? We'll try and get someone from Football Australia, someone from the A-League. This is massive. If this happened in the AFL...
Oh... Well, it has.
Well, it has.
Only for the next 50.
Yeah, sorry, I said the AFL, not the VFL. Yeah, well, no, but Callum, you're right. I'm disappointed for the league. I'm disappointed for the Reds or Perth Glory or Melbourne if they win. You can't host your own grand final. What a joke that is.
Look, we heard from Adam Peacock. He just said, I don't think the game's at that stage where, you can do that one-off somewhere like a Super Bowl. Like, Super Bowl is already predetermined. It's going to be played in Boston, and
but they bid millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars.
We know how big the demand is for that, and it's going to happen. I feel this was just purely, it was the New South Wales government saying, we want it. Here, we'll pay for it. Here's a big lump of some money. And they just took it on that basis only. They didn't think through it.
Yeah, but what about also... So Adelaide United in 2016 finished top, got the way through, won through to a grand final, host their home grand final.
Get 50,000.
So now if they do that, not only do they not get 50,000, they don't get the home ground advantage.
Oh, yeah.
So just that alone is a joke.
It's upset a lot.
Well, let's follow it up
Callum
tomorrow.
say that.
No, let's follow it up tomorrow.
Absolutely, we will. It's 29 minutes after 6. After the break, we're going to speak to the Crows CEO, Tim Silvers, after the fixture was dropped yesterday.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G.
At Drake's, we want everybody to share in the joy of Christmas. That's why we've dropped our prices.
To make